hello. How's it going? Why isn't this working? I don't know, but we'll deal with it. Hello, everybody. My loop deck stopped working, of course, right when I started streaming. But welcome. I hope you guys are doing good today. And my desktop audio isn't working now. And there we go. That should be good. Yes. Hello. How's it going? Happy affiliate anniversary. I didn't even know it was my affiliate anniversary. They didn't let me, oh wait, no, they did let me know 3 days ago. I was like, why did they let me know? And I went to my notifications like, oh yeah, it is coming up in a few days. Welp, I would have done something special, but I actually didn't even know. But how's everybody doing? How's Gene going? Excuse me. Johnny, Scar, Sleepy. We got Emmerich's in here. Rock Lobster, and then Lobster Mama, Lobster Agent. Bladed. Yeah, we got all the homies here. Sandwich. I hope you guys are doing good. Good to see you, Cabo. Thank you. I love the high emote. I love that you guys are using it. It makes me so friggin' happy. It makes me so happy that you guys are using it. I didn't have time to do a few things today. Let me close my window also. And this is getting in the way a little bit. Let's fix that a bit. Okay. Let's also fix this a little bit. Okie dokie. Huh?
You shut up!
Huh?
I'm so fucking scared right now, you shut up! Are you doing this? No, I'm doing this!
I don't do nothing. Scared, sad burp. What color we're gonna paint? I'm painting some, Death Guard. Oh.
G-I-T Kabu.
OG, it's Kabu.
Or eat floor candy this time.
I will definitely do both. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm doing both. Affiliate anniversary today. Yeah, right? That's crazy. I don't know how many years it's been, but I've been affiliate for quite a while. I was hoping to get partner maybe next year, end of next year, but whoa.
Bad to see,
Whoa.
Cabo. I despise you. That's why I watch your streams. It's totally because I'm a hater and not because I like your content.
Thanks for the biddies, I guess. Ugh. Mods. Jarvis. Ban him. But you can't just ban him. You have to go beyond that. You have to go beyond that. Okay. You have to rip off their toenails and then feed them to their families into a nice toenail soup. Who cone-headed me? Who cone-headed me? It's such a goofy little cone. Humiliation 101. Thank you so much for the biddies. Thank you so much, Win, for the biddies. Thank you so much, Win. I'm trying to read chat. God dang it, I'm trying to read chat. Gonna spam because I like it. It's like nice emote. I like it. Everyone kill her with happiness. Is that what's happening? Is that what's happening? Oh, I got a stab. Another stab one. Oh, happy 2 months.
You know what?
Cry about it. Thank you so much. It is actually 3 months. This is 3 months. Actually, it's 3 months. But thank you so much. You guys are so kind. I really appreciate it. Even you, Abe, with your insults and all that whatevers. Little rat man creeps into chat. Hey, any other rats are welcome here. We welcome all rats. Scared by pizza rat tummy? What's wrong with my rat tummy? Nice cock. Nice cock. Perfect. Dun 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 dun. Excuse me. Also, it's like 5 days until my birthday, so lots going on. Yo! Happy early birthday. I hope you're having a great birthday week. Start stealing models and paints. Don't, please. All the models I have are models that I was gifted for my birthday. Today we're going to be painting some Death Guard minis. We're going to be painting some sticky, icky Playboys. They're my favorite. I love painting them so much. I can't wait to paint others and all the other ones I have, but I really wanted to just... before I start painting the stuff I don't know, especially after not painting for so long, it's been like a year since I was really painting, I was like, yo... I don't know if it's Sako. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. Also, we have over 4,400 followers. We hit 4,400 followers. That's crazy. Okay. No, wait. I'm getting distracted. I want to talk about models. Dang it. I'm trying to be a nerd. Also, thank you for the biddies, Ape. Oh my gosh. Drinks paint water to ascend. Well, I got my little glass here of paint water. Well, it's not paint yet, it's just water, but just wait. What was I saying? I got a lot of awesome stuff. I got a lot of awesome big stuff like dreadnoughts. And I was like, whoa. This is big. This is like crazy. I don't usually do this. So let's warm up with some of the stuff I do know. Like, I know how to do the Plague Marines. We did the Skitarii. We're not done with the Skitarii, but I really wanted to just paint my Plague Boy. I miss my Plague Boy so much. So we are going in with that. Cheek Puff. You requested Cheek Puff. Yo! Zreckle, thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated, homie. Heck yeah. In theory, I get what I need to actually start painting my minis tomorrow. I'll have to tag you in the Discord server once I get something worth posting. Yeah, we have, please feel free to join the Discord server. Can we get a Discord command from a mod, please? Let me talk on my own stream. Y'all won't let me talk on my own stream? Too busy being awesome, supportive beads. Like, what? But anyways, join my Discord. We've got a nice, active, fun Warhammer community on there. Playing, everyone likes to post their own Warhammer stuff, whether it's the memes or whether it's all the other stuff. Like minis. I'm talking! Yeah, and that was a bot interrupting me. Happy affiliate anniversary, thank you! I love that I say, hey mods, can we get a link for the Discord command or whatever? And Gomez does it, yeah, but then my other mod, of course, has to interrupt me with the nice cock, perfect. No, that was earlier, Rudy, that was earlier. I'm talking about a little earlier, if you look up. Dun, 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 dun. I guess I better just stop. I guess I better just get out and stop. I guess I'm stopping. I guess I'm quitting the stream. You got on my affiliate anniversary. Wow. On my affiliate anniversary. Twice. Really? Twice. Thank you for the headbats. No way 2 of you did it at the exact same time. No fucking way. No, you're gonna break it. What are you applauding? Just me not being there? Applauding my not being on the screen. Oh, yes, 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 she's not on screen. No! It's my thing. Get love, stupid? No! So no head? Wow. So no head? Wow, I didn't realize.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Brody too distracted by nice cocks. Leave him be, rat. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. We'll have to do the cheek puff in just a moment when I have my head back. When I got my head back, then I can do fun cheek puff. But good morning, Bjorn. Welcome.
I know it's our job to help this guy and everything, but I think this guy's a lost cause.
Oh.
He's obviously made up his mind. Why don't we just cut him off and get out of here?
Y'all are having too much fun with my redeems. Head for head, the smug, not the. Don't you. Damn, using my smug emote for nasty shit like that. I've got a lot of points to burn. Hey, yeah, I've got a lot of redeems, and we're gonna have some new ones coming up soon. Probably in like a month and a half or so. What? Huh?
Don't let your kids watch it.
Yeah, definitely do not watch children. Please do not. It's your fault for having such fun redeems. Why my chat so toxic?
I absolve you of your sins.
Why my chat so toxic? Good stream, bye-bye. Good stream, bye-bye. Well, bye-bye. Let me do the bye emotes. Bye-bye.
Nice cock.
If we weren't toxic, we wouldn't be yours. Are you saying I'm toxic? Is that what you're saying?
Like big time. Yeah, I wish you guys would just stay out of this.
What? I have 90K. I just hold on to it all times. I so feel that though. I so get that.
Cheek puff.
Oh, stinky cheek puff. That was like a special cheek puff, by the way, because it had a burp attached to it. So you should be like grateful. I'm so generous. And on my own affiliate anniversary, a cheek puff and a burp. You should be grateful. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. I could be toxic. I could be. No, I'm only toxic in a silly way. I don't like to think that I'm actually truly ever toxic. No. I don't think so. Why no head for head? Oh, real one. That's a real one. Also, Ape, thank you for spamming Peepo Poo Poo because I love that emote. It never gets used, and like obviously because it's like what there very few times would you have a real use for that, but it's so funny. You're not toxic. Def a little poisonous though, just a little. What makes me poisonous? What makes me poisonous? Let's switch it up. Let's go switch it up. Here we go. Down. Ah! The stink makes you poisonous. Oh, that sounds sad. Just a fun small rat. I that's what I like to think. I just think I'm a goofy little cringy rat, you know. I like to think I'm a silly, goofy, cringy rat. I stop now. But thank you guys for coming by. Today we are going to be painting some of my Death Guard little baby boy dudes. They are very, very cute. I've primed them. They're all primed and ready. It's just the one, actually. We're going to be watching some... I'm thinking of watching more Bricky lore during this one. if you guys do have any lore videos or any Warhammer related things, or any just in general fucking shit, then feel free to go onto my Discord and post it in the Stream Topics channel in the server. Stream Topics is about any topics we're talking about on stream in the moment. So I could be like, oh, okay, they were suggesting this, because I don't do links in chat. Links in chat ain't too good. You for sure have a damage over time aura about you. No! Karami, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Yo, we're getting homies. Thank you. Like those Hades rats. No! The Hades rats are the worst. The rat enemies in Hades are so fucking annoying. React content, my favorite. You guys want me to do like React content? I don't really do it because, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I have such great things to say. But I do like watching quite a bit of React content. Have you heard of a game called Tripang 2? I have not. What's that? It's on Steam. What about some more If the Emperor Had TTS? Okay, definitely. Yeah, let's watch that. Yo, Mounted Great, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Excuse me. Emperor TTS is goated. It's such a shame they have to stop. Wait, why'd they have to stop? They had to stop? I wanna make shit like that. That shit is so funny. You ever check out more Pancreas No Work for Warhammer lore? No, I have not. I've not had much time, honestly. I've been quite consumed in in a few things. One being Dune. I finished the first book of Dune. I was really in that shit. I finished it, like, how long did it take me to finish Dune? Like a week and a half? Not even? Then I finished LA Noire last night. That took me, like, I think about, it's been 6 days. No. Yeah? I think so. Which, News Guide to Quick Head Taker posting Discord. What's that? Yo, Nezumi! No, sorry, I pronounced it wrong. Nezumi! Is that how I pronounce it? Is that how you pronounce it? Nezoom! Zoom. Bro is zooming? Are you zooming? Zooming and gooning. Am I right, my lady? Zooming and gooning. LA Noire was awesome. LA Noire was awesome. Too bad Team Bondi, the team that made it, was a pile of shit, abusing their employees and such. Really sad to hear that was behind the scenes was just awful. For everybody. That really sucks. But you know, I finished it. I actually never ever played the very last case of the game, but I literally got the game when it came out. I was fucking in GameStop when it came out. Games Workshop sent a cease and desist. Wait, seriously? No way. For a YouTube video? What? Really? I guess it's like, I guess they could be thinking it's, what's it called? Like, but it's like, they're memes. It's not real like that. It's not, what? They stopped because of Games Workshop's shift on fan content, and them being way more restrictive and copyright happy. They stopped to preemptively avoid trouble with that. Wait, really? Because I wanted to make some fan content on YouTube. Oh, I wanted to do some Warhammer roleplay ASMR. Do you think they'll let me do that? Oh. You lasted through that book. Oh, you mean Dune? It's insane because it's a pretty thick boy too. Yeah, the book is. It was 800 pages, 796 or something like that. It was almost 800 pages. But if I like a book, I will totally dedicate myself to it. I will totally consume. I will just Yeah. But wait, do you think I'll get in trouble? I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to. I don't want to get in trouble. No. Also, what the fuck is wrong with this? Oh, why? Perfect timing, shipping me off with the sad cat. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know why this isn't working. My loot deck just shot itself. It disabled everything. That's weird. Anyway. You know what? So does the YouTuber. No, I do not. Maybe. I might recognize the art style. He had his whole catalog of 40K animations taken down. No! That's crazy. Seriously? But also, fan content, wouldn't that include lore videos? That would totally include lore videos. Rats and Hordes of Warpstone ASMR? That's crazy! That's crazy! Fan stuff seems to be less restricted now. Especially with lore videos. But ASMR might be okay. Yeah, because I wanted to do like silly stuff. Like I wanted to do my first one that I'm working, the script that I'm working on right now is Adeptus Mechanicus customer service call center ASMR. So I'm writing up a goofy script. I'm having a little bit of a hard time actually. And I'm always looking for suggestions in the server and stuff. So I might be messaging about it and being like, hey, can I have help with this? And you guys are so helpful and fun and nice. And it makes me happy because I'm like, oh, when I post it, you'll see that I took your advice and since the Discord, the animations you've done so far, yeah, sure, go for it. Put it in the Warhammer channel. I guess they were cracking, when they first cracked down on it, that fan content was already posted, so they probably just went straight for that. I highly doubt they're on the lookout as much, probably, nowadays, because how long ago was that? No way, the Emperor TT, that sucks. That really fucking sucks, dude. How do you feel about Skaven? Skaven fucking rock. They're fellow rats. I've never really consumed much Warhammer Fantasy content other than a lore video we did watch last week, which was really nice. Welcome, Scully. I hope you're doing good today. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Saw you in my recommended. Hey, yo, Twitch finally doing a solid for us, even a little bit, bringing an awesome Zoom into the chat. Thank you for coming by, thank you for chatting, and thank you for following again. Pleasantly surprised to see you're a rat after I clicked. Yay! Yes, I am a rat. I'm a rat tuber. I am a rat. Game Workshop cares way more about 3D prints nowadays. Are they cracking down on the 3D prints? I'm not surprised. That's understandable, I think. I mean, from their perspective, but then again, it's like, don't you have enough money, bro? Like, don't you got enough money? I'm watching a pizza rat while walking on the treadmill at the gym. Yo, bro is getting them gains? Are you getting them gains? You're getting them gains? If someone asks, I'm just gonna say a pizza rat. If they're gonna ask what you're watching, oh, they're gonna go, a pizza rat? With the money they make, you'd think their resin cast would be better. Ooh, burn! Burn! Got him. What's the best Games Workshop burn you can come up with? That's a good one though. I sent one to Warhammer stuff. Fuck yeah. And also Warhammer, feel free to post like fantasy 40k and any other Warhammer stuff. It's not just 40k. We focus on 40k a lot here. But I'm open to exploring other cool parts of Warhammer because there's just so fucking much. They just gave all their employees $18,000 worth of bonuses and raises this year, though. Wouldn't mind that job. Okay, wait. No. You have to realize how many people work for Games Workshop. And did that include everyone? Because that if it's $18,000 worth for everyone, for thousands on thousands of employees, do you really think that bonus was really that big? However, a raise is good. Happy affiliate anniversary. Thank you. I didn't even fucking realize until I turned on stream. I was like, oh, it's my affiliate anniversary? Whoa, what? That's pretty crazy. That was only the team that worked on Space Marine 2. Oh, that sucks. You're telling me that the SM2 team... Wait, then it doesn't even go through Games Workshop. Then that probably goes through the production studio for the game. That sucks. That's even worse. The fact that they totally excluded other fucking Games Workshop. But I don't know. Then again, it's like they're different projects. They're working on different projects. You know, there are people working on SM2 who probably don't even know like about Space Hammer. They're Space Hammer. The Warhammer. Space Hammer. Warhammer. They're just focused on Space Marine. Sorry, mixed up my. They're probably just focused on Space Marine and doing their game stuff because it is different. There's just so much to Warhammer. But Saber Interactive that's the studio. I'm curious what they'll do with new games. Owlcat is doing a new Warhammer game. Owlcat reached out to me a few months ago for Rogue Trader, and they gave me a key, and I played some of their new DLC on stream, and it was really fun, and I liked it. I really enjoyed it, and they're so nice. Owlcat was really nice to me. I really hope they reach out to me again. I really hope they reach out to me again because I'm like, they're coming out with that new game. What is it called? I was talking to AJ about it. I'm actually part of the SM2 Discord. They're actively learning as much as they can with the help of their community. That's awesome. I fucking love it. Owlcat, a cool studio. New game is Dark Heresy. That's what it's called, Dark Heresy. I would fucking... When that comes out, when is that coming out? Let me look it up. When is that coming out? I am gonna play the shit out of it. Because I love Owlcat.
They say
what is
love
this?
Sees not with the eyes, but with the heart.
What?
Perhaps that's
Oh, I'm looking at the Date Everything. That's... I was on the Date Everything, Steam page. So I'm like, why is that? Become an acolyte of the Inquisition in this grim, dark, party-based, story-driven CRPG. Fuck yes! Fuck yes, fuck yes, fuck yes, fuck yes! Lead investigations, uncover grand conspiracies, master tactical combat, and wage a secret war against heresy. Make tough choices as a conduit of the God Emperor's will. That is so fucking cool. That is really cool. And the models are that they show off are just so awesome. I'm gonna see if I can maybe speak to them coming soon. It doesn't say when. It doesn't say when. Their Pathfinder games are also solid. I love Rogue Trader. I need to finish it. I need to. I need to desperately finish it. Dum 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 dum. Let's do. Here we go. Funny fact, there's actually a Warhammer And wait, what do you mean there's an actual Warhammer? Like a hammer? For war? What? Like, why you gotta... why you gotta eat me like that? I thought we were friends, but then you gotta eat me like that. And on my affiliate anniversary. I'm gonna guilt you guys with that all day today, by the way. And on my affiliate anniversary, don't you think you can head pat me after eating me? How dare you? It's okay. I like the head pats, actually. They're nice. Bum, 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 bam. We're gonna be painting our little Death Guard boy, and then after that, I was thinking we could maybe play something. Would you guys want me to continue the Warhammer and play some Rogue Trader? Or we could play some Silent Hill F. I am obsessed with the game, and it's so fucking cool. It's so fucking cool, and I can't wait to... The F stands for fuck. So we could play Silent Hill F or Rogue Trader. I was like, oh, I'd like to keep the Warhammer thing going, but Silent Hill F up to Cabo. Well, I like to understand what you guys would actually, excuse me, genuinely enjoy. Like, I want to know what you guys would stick around for, what you guys would find happiness in. Bum, bum, bam, bam. The cool part is it's your stream and you get to choose. Okay, I know, and thank you for being nice. But the question is, what would you guys like? I love both of these games. I love both of them. But I want to know what you guys would, be in chat for, having fun for. You know what I'm saying? We'll watch either. But you know what? That's so nice to hear. I will say that right now. Knowing that you guys are like gonna be here no matter what I do, or like some of you, not all of you, and that's okay. Some people are like, oh, I don't like the scary game, or oh, I don't want spoiler. Like, that's okay. But like, it's so comforting to be like, oh, okay, they're gonna be here no matter what. That makes me happy. I find happiness in death and despair, whichever has more. That's so. Does Warhammer or Silent Hill have more death and despair? I feel like Warhammer would, but the psychological aspects of Silent Hill are just like, I don't know. Excuse me. In quantity, Warhammer. But Silent Hill just hits extra hard. That's my way of saying either. I might go with Silent Hill, I won't even lie. Because I really just, it's such a good game, and it was gifted to me by buddy-o AJ in chat, and I just would love to. I really want to finish it, and then finish it again, and finish it again. And again, and again, and again, and again. How many people here have played Silent Hill F? Or Silent Hill in general? I fucking love Silent Hill in general. Like, Silent Hill 2 is great, 3 is awesome, 4's 2 remake is awesome, and F is really good. Found out the writer for Silent Hill F did Higurashi When They Cry. I've heard of that, but I've never consumed any of that content. Demons can fuck you psychologically as well. Ever listen to The Watcher in the Rain? No, but I'm scared to. Now I'm scared to. I'm gonna play some Darktide soon. Haven't faced the new Plasma Gunner. I need to play Darktide. Y'all ever just look at, like, you just sit and look at your Steam library, and you just look at it and you just scroll, and there's a lot of games. There's a lot of shit on there. Like, over the years or whatever, and you're just like, oh my god, there's so much, but there's nothing to play. Y'all ever do that? Y'all ever do that? And then you look back and you're like, oh, I really should play this game. Oh, I have that game. Then you go back and it's like, there's nothing to play. I need people to play Darktide it with. Honestly, yo, we could do that on my server, no problemo. We have a Wednesday. There's we're doing a gaming time. Look at my schedule if you'd like the times. I think it's 1 p.m. EST. We're gonna be playing. We could play Darktide. Fuck yeah. I don't want to play Darktide alone. Me too. I feel the same way. That's why I haven't played it yet, because none of my friends are actively into it. Dum dum dum. Dum, 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 dum. We are like literally the same person. Like, oh my god. Like, literally? Like, oh my god. Dum, 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 dum. When I do it, I always hard carry for some reason and hate it. I can't help that I'm so good. Oh, I can't help I'm so good. No, it's okay. If you, like, I get it if it's, like, for someone like me who is notoriously bad at video games, I'm kind of just like, hey, whatever. I don't care too much. But if it's like someone who's actively like, no, I'm so fucking good and I have to be good and better than everyone else, like that's when I'm like, fuck you, dude. No. If you're like, oh shit, I stole your kill, I'm really sorry. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Dun, 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 dun. Depends on the day. I would like to do some nighttime hangouts as well. But if we do nighttime hangouts, I won't be able to stream. I'll have to be on my phone and in bed. But I wouldn't mind like still watching movies with you guys in bed. I'll just be in a Discord call in bed and just watching movies with you guys. I just like to stab people in Darktide. Yo, you can like, is it like Doom where you can go crazy with the kills? I would love that. I'm at work right now. Stream audio on phone, stream on PC, work at home, laptop, waiting for calls. Damn. Okay, you're set. That's why I play chill games. So being bad just means things take longer. That is so real though. Like, I get it. I get you, homie. I get you. Oh gee. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at this really quickly. But the new Owlcat game seems really cool. CRPG. I'm gonna play the fuck out of that. I will go hog wild on that. I think I will reach out to them when they release the when they release the date of the thing. I might just be like, hey, the agent I spoke with, she was so nice. She was so friggin' understanding and nice. And she was like, oh, can you stream it like around this time? And I was like, I won't be around that time. How about this time? She was like, of course, no problem. I was like, that, you're so nice. Thank you. Give me every game of yours. Happy affiliate anniversary. Thank you, AJ. We were just talking about some Warhammers. Talking about Owlcat's new game and just other Warhammer games to play in general, like Darktide. I would like to play Darktide sometime. Affiliate anniversary though. It doesn't say how many years I've been an affiliate. I don't even know. Is it the 4th year? Or the 3rd year? No. It has to be, I think it's the 4th year. I think it's the 4th year. I think it's the 4th one.
I know it's her job.
Because I was on YouTube for my year 1.
This guy's a lost cause. He's fine. Why don't we just cut our losses?
Well, don't worry, you're not gonna cut your losses because you already threw me out of my own stream. Gosh, rude much? Darking my tides in it? I wanna play with you. It'll be fun. I'm thinking of, excuse me. I'm thinking of trying to like. Oh my god, excuse me. What was this? Oh no. What? homie just gifted me Vermintide 2. Okay, now we gotta play this. And then I'm cone-headed. Wow. Wow. How can I be happy when I'm cone-headed? And then you have the gall. Then you have the gall to yeet me on my own stream. But we're definitely playing all these fucking awesome Warhammer games. I love it. I'm excited. And thank you. All the DLCs are like $3. Oh, it's like super cheap. Thank you. Thank you. Dum. We are going to start painting in a few minutes. Excuse me. So let's look at some cool YouTube videos that we can watch. Let's look at this. Oh, let's look at the TTS Emperor. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that one. The first one was the adorable centurion that sat on his lap. That one was so funny. The second one was the religious one. If the emperor had a text-to-speech device is crazy. I love that. Okay, I can't wait. But this was years ago, though. This was like, oh my god, 11 years ago. It came out 11 years ago. Your cone head makes you aerodynamic. Well, I don't mean you gotta toss me out. I'm trying so hard to play sad, but I can't help but smile. Excuse me. Let's see this here. We're gonna do some of the Emperor TTS, and then we'll put on a nice bricky video. Bricky. So sad that Games Workshop decided to stop letting fan animations of Warhammer, but now we get Age of Darkness animations. Wait, so any animations like now? Any animations just are not allowed? Seriously? Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Every 40k faction re-explained. Oh, he did this again 6 months ago. He did one 5 years ago, and he did the other one 6 months ago. That's really cool. Maybe we'll watch that in a while, but maybe not right now. I just love that Bricky's kind of getting out of his comfort zone, and he's like, oh, let me do like Street Fighter stuff and card stuff and hanging out with VTubers and all that stuff. And he was playing Silent Hill, I think. I love it. I love it. Dun, 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 dun. Some animations and stuff fly under the radar. They seem selective when they do it. The 2 hours Skaven Clan video too. Oh yeah, we did watch some of that one, I think. I love that Bricky was basically adopted by VTubers. Yeah, it's all because of Matara. And I love Matara. She's definitely a favorite of mine. I love that she just kind of brought him into the VTuber world. He was at Offkai. I was looking for him on the last day and I couldn't find him. I was so sad. Dum, 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 dum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum. Let's see. Let's look at his playlist. Why doesn't he have a playlist for his Warhammer stuff? Is it just... What? Bro. He should have one for his Warhammer stuff. What are you doing, homie? Let's look at this. It's kind of funny how much he became friends with VTubers. Like, nothing wrong with it, just feels funny to see his big forehead amongst anime girls. I think it's so wholesome, personally. I think it's super wholesome. Have any factions you hate to paint? No, I've not really come across any that I dislike painting. I've enjoyed the Scutari. They were alright. The cloak gave me a bit of like an issue, but we could also watch some WARHAMMER. Let's look at WARHAMMER. He's got some cool stuff. Yeah, WARHAMMER's a furry? Did not know. Out of this mechanic is deep dive. Ooh! Ooh! Ooh, I like the sound of that. That sounds really cool. Did we start watching this? Did I dislike it? I don't remember. Let's find out. We'll watch a little bit more of it. But first we're gonna, of course, obviously, watch the Emperor one. What happened here? Okay, here. Come on, YouTube, you can do it. Stop being a poopy face. Come on. My favorite assemblies have been General Space Marines and Dwarves. The General Space Marines are just are very simple, so it's nice. What's going on? Okay, here we go. Okie dokie. Cabo de Rabo, she's Nabo Debago. I don't even know what that means, but alright. Ever painted white minis? Heard those are a pain. I've never painted white minis. I always liked painting the black primed minis because it just looks better with the shading. It looks really good with the shading. It adds to it, especially like, I don't know. It just works. It just works. And what's up, you boy? I'm not a fan of assembling chaos. Too spiky, hurts my fingers. That's the one thing I don't like about the Plague Marines and assembling them. They are so fucking spiky. It's like, oh, it's fun to paint the spikies, but like, it hurts. It does hurt. What's up, Peak? How's it going? Let's watch Major Kill. Okay. Major Kill. I actually like Major Kill, but I don't think he's appropriate for stream. I don't think he's appropriate for my stream, unfortunately. He does make some harsh comments, and he has made some not nice comments on stream. Like, while I was watching him on stream, and I heard that, and I stopped it immediately. I was like, whoa, okay. And ever since that moment, I actually haven't really watched him, because it turned me off. He said one thing and it was a little like, it was like underhanded racist, and I was like, I don't know about that, homie. But we are going to take a few minutes and we are going to move over to what's it called, to painting. Won't take too long. I prepped a lot of this stuff already. Just a few minutes, everybody, so please be patient because it won't be too long. Yeah, thank you very much. painting, my dudes. We are painting. We've got all our stuff now. Sorry, my nails aren't painted. They will be next week, though. I'm gonna get some cute nails for next week. It'll be nice. We are gonna be watching a little bit. Yo, Pangea is. Yo, I hope you're doing good today. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing good today. Let me just switch this right here really fast. We got the paints. We got everything we need. Yeah, it's me, the supercontinent. Well, like, when I first read your name, I read it like that, okay? I kind of just want to call you that. Pangea, steel, non-stick pan. Non-stick pan. Oh, whoopsies. Let's do this. Let's do this. Oh God, your hands are green. Are they green? In this lighting, this webcam, I will say, is garbage. This is a garbage webcam. This is like a webcam you get at, like, I don't even know. Like, it's bad. It's a bad webcam. You're turning into the Incredible Hulk. Wait, let me also pick up the lights over here. Maybe that'll be a little nicer. But this pink is like a hot pink. This pink is like my shirt and my visor hot pink. So it's crazy. I've put filters on it to try to make it look like how it actually looks. It's bad. I have to put a better webcam on my throne or something because, like, Zooey Mama, I'll probably do that later. But anyways, welcome everybody. We're gonna be watching some really quick. I just want to watch a few episodes of the Emperor. If the Emperor had a text-to-speech device, so funny. We're gonna start from episode 3.
Yes, my lord. This happened. On behalf of all mankind, I'm really sorry, my lord.
Uh-oh, what now?
Really sorry.
Danny, thank you so much for the love.
Mankind and grow to become a state
How you doing, Dandy?
of the Imperium, becoming this fucking ecclesiarchy thing, and then people start to cut their own fucking screen out, waving it around and throwing it at people, all in a pool of their own jizz and blood.
Oh, jizz and blood.
Really sorry.
And then you let some power-hungry motherfucking bureaucrat.
Thank you for the
become
lurkies,
master of
Dandy.
the
Thank
evidence,
you.
And that overly dominant ecclesiarchy grok shit, effectively controlling all our hot, leathery assassins from the Officio Assassinorum and all asshole psychers in the Adeptus Astra Telepathica. Oh, and our flashlight
Oh, wait.
as well.
Let's crack her open.
Then this wall-to-the-wall
Ooh, look at that. That's a good one.
that has become your leader starts to kill and torture anyone and everyone he feels like because it makes his bureaucrat balls tingle with delight.
Tingle with delight.
Let's purge all mankind. And
No.
he did all this with the most evil fucking name I've ever heard. Goat Van Dyer. How could you ever trust a guy with that name? G-O-G-E Van Dyer. That name is just screaming, I'm going to take your eye sockets and put my penis into them.
But it's a bit quiet. It's quiet for me, too.
Look, my lord.
I'll
The
make it
events of the Age of
louder for you
Apostasy
guys.
were a great shame upon the Imperium, but he was brought to justice in the end. Why, I was even there when it happened. Several Astartes chapter masters and the Mechanicus Fabricator General came around and told us what Van Dyer had been up to all this time. And then we helped out by conveying the truth of the matter to the leader of Van Dyer's bodyguards, the bride to the Emperor, by directing her straight to you. I remember it all like it was yesterday.
500 years earlier.
Himself upon the golden throne of Terra. He is so beautiful. I've never seen anything as graceful and bewitching in all my life.
Really?
I know, right? And we get to clean his entire body several times a week.
I'm so unfathomably jealous I could burn you all right now. But I won't, so don't worry. But still.
But still.
Anyway, as you can see, Van Dyer is not the one you're supposed to be looking up to. He doesn't do anything but deceive to gain more power.
She's
He's a
just
madman,
so horny
and
for
his
this
reign
guy.
of blood must be stopped. listening?
Huh? I'm sorry, I spaced out.
Duh.
The Emperor has some quite divine-looking abs.
But anyway, I know you have served Van Dyer for a long time, but his megalomaniacal ways must come to an end.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
You have committed the ultimate heresy. Not only have you turned your back on the Emperor and stepped from his light, you have profaned his name and almost destroyed everything he has striven to build. You have perverted and twisted the path he has laid for mankind to tread. As your own decrees have stated, there can be no mercy for such a criminal. I renounce your lordship. You walk in the darkness and cannot be allowed to live. Your sentence has been long
Oh,
overdue.
we're not gonna get every little nook and cranny, so we can get that black shade kind of.
Right. I think I remember that too. Some girl came in here and stared at me with depraved, flustered eyes.
Depraved,
If I thought
flustered
the
eyes.
phone slipped, I would probably have gotten a fairly insecure boner.
That's the Adeptus Auritus for you.
You haven't made female space marines, have you?
Huh? Oh, no, that isn't even possible. Only lewd and deviant artists of pen and parchment ever come up with something like that. Even then, if we didn't catch one of them in the middle of the process, we end up throwing them into the firing squad.
I mean, technically, nowadays with the custodies and all that drama last year.
No girls allowed.
No girls allowed!
My lord.
So, what's up with this Inquisition thing?
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Next one, oh god.
I think I have to go now.
Stop. You're telling me about this Inquisition thing.
Oh, hold it. Wow. I think that's your regular everyday meal of a thousand sacrifice souls being prepared. Better go and check on it.
What was that?
Nothing, my lord. Nothing at all. I'll just go now.
Sorry, I'm just fixing
You are
this a
not
little bit.
going anywhere until you tell me about the Inquisition.
How did you do that?
How could you do that? I want to look. Oh my god, I need water. I'm keeping the water over there on the other table because I do not want to spill anything. I'm so nervous about spilling shit. I'm not spilling shit. I don't have time to die. I'm too busy. Were his last words to hell? Okay, let's watch some of this Bricky video. Come on. Oh, and this isn't Bricky. No. This is at the West Hammer. Why are they so fucking quiet?
Is all about. Better than the
There we go.
Mechanicus. Warhammer plays with a lot of different themes, some factions leaning into them more than the others. The Mechanicus somehow manages to combine all of them into a single perfect faction. Religious fanaticism?
Also,
check.
look at
Spectacular levels of violence and never-ending war? Check. Cautionary commentary on the dangers of authoritarian regimes and rigid adherence to tradition? Check.
Also gonna look
They
at
even managed
this.
to throw in a tasteful dose of grotesque body horror. I know Space Marines are supposed to be the poster boys of this franchise, but nothing screams 40k to me quite like a tech priest Dominus.
Oh, they're so
This
fucking
idea of
cool.
Worshipping fanatics, humanity's brightest scientists and engineers, who wield some of the most advanced weaponry humanity has ever seen. Yet they have forsaken the path of progress through innovation, viewing the unsanctioned application of science to create new technology as a sin punishable by death, instead relying on the ancient technology of humanity's past. And in order to regain this lost archaeotech, they set off into the stars on a righteous...
He doesn't look the same without a bandana. What? Where's the bandana? Why doesn't he wearing a bandana? Is anyone else bothered by this? West Hammer is also good people. West Hammer is very wholesome. I like him a lot. He's really chill.
They look unbelievably horrifying. We're going to be getting into all that.
Isn't it crazy? Let me just pause for a second. Isn't it crazy that so many like 40k content creators that I've met, other than Major Kill, are, and I'm saying content creators, by the way, not fans. Some of these content creators are just so wholesome. Like, some of the painters I've met are just really nice, and like on Twitch. And then West Hammer is so wholesome. Bricky is super wholesome. Like, it's just, it makes me laugh because it's such a gruesome, dark, and terrible series to be into. So it's like, oh, this really nice, chill person is into this super ridiculous, grim, dark shit. You know what I'm saying? There are much worse than Major Kill out there. Oh yeah. But I'm just saying, in terms of content creators who are at least on the larger side when it comes to the lore stuff. I don't know any really shitty. Major Kill's probably the shittiest one. He's like, I don't know. I liked him for a while. I did. I liked him for a while. But he made some of those comments that were like just not good takes. And it turned me off. I was like, oh, I'll keep watching him. And then I kept watching him and I was like, I don't feel good about this. You ever do that? You're like, it doesn't feel the same. It don't feel right. It don't feel right. It's like Jared Leto nowadays, you know? You just can't like him. It ain't the same. No, you're not just gonna go watch Morbius. Arch is the shittiest. I don't know who Arch is. Basically, it's announced by Games Workshop. Hopefully, if they're shitty. I actually don't know who they are. But anyway, let's continue watching.
There's a lot to cover with the Adeptus Mechanicus. Honestly, just looking at the timestamp, I think pretty sure this is my longest video yet. So sit back, get comfy, and
at this
start
point,
some of those 40K
he makes
pictures
long
in your pile
fucking
of shame,
videos.
because
It's
we're gonna dive
Admiral.
head first into the grimdark. But before we get into all that, I want to tell you about these super cool t-shirts that you see in all my videos. Now, they come from this clothing company called Into the AM, an amazing one-of-a-kind clothing company.
Tell me he does chapters for... Okay, I love when they do chapters for their sponsors. Because it's like, okay, they can still do their thing, but I'm not listening to that shit, sorry.
Fight under the banners of their ancient
I bet they're cool shirts, though. Yeah, it's very cool.
Bellowed in praise to the Omnissiah. They wield some of the most advanced weaponry humanity has seen since the days of the Dark Age of technology.
Okay.
And are responsible for the construction and maintenance of all of the towering war machines, weapons, and armor utilized by all of mankind's armies. To the Mechanicus, the quest for knowledge is a never-ending pursuit, the most holy of conquests. Data and technology are seen as sacred, and to blaspheme a machine's form through reckless innovation is a heretical sin, punishable by obliteration. They clad themselves in the armor of their faith, embrace behind the bulwark of tradition. By their will is the machine.
It just has to dry. I'm a little critical because it's like, it's not dry yet, but
his name will be eradicated with cold, mathematical ruthlessness. To witness the Adeptus Mechanicus marching to war is to see legions of cybernetic horrors and soulless automatons approaching as a holy procession.
One thing I want to know is where are these sources? Do they have these sources in the description? Like, does he read books?
At one point in their lives, their soldiers were indistinguishable from other humans, but now their legions have been blessed with mechanical apotheosis through holy butchery on the anvils of their mighty forge worlds. Each and every one having been reborn as a twisted fusion of
Pancreas no work. Oh, we watched something last week, I think. Feel free to put any videos that you'd like to see in the Discord. I'm going to be flashing through there every so often.
They are molded into cold, logic-driven killing machines. It is their sacred duty to deliver the machine.
Yeah, he said duty. He said duty. Books are codexes that have rules and some lore. Okay.
They are supported by a host of spider-limbed vehicles that unleash heavy.
Those are fucking cool. I'd love to paint something like that.
March ahead of their peers, delivering storms of irradiated hellfire to the non-believers. With every step, radiation seeps from their esoteric war gear, twisting the battlefield into a toxic nightmare. In their hour of need, the Mechanicus calls upon the most ancient of treaties, summoning their closest allies to their cause. The towering bipedal war engines of
Who are their allies? Just the Imperium, I guess?
Of the Legio Titanicus, each of which wielding world-quaking weaponry that can reduce entire cities to nothing more than molten slag with a single shot. Blessed is he who strides with giants into the crucible of war.
Ooh.
So with that tastefully dramatic introduction out of the way, what exactly is the Adeptus Mechanicus?
Tastefully dramatic indeed.
As they're often called. Well, first and foremost, they are the keepers of mankind's technological knowledge. They are the creators of humanity's machines, great and small.
He's got a little pointy head. I chose a pointy head one. That one hurt to put on.
Collective faith in the machine god. They are a faction withholden to tradition that carefully guards every single scrap of ancient data recovered through their extensive and exhaustive exploratory efforts. You can think of the Mechanicus as a complex hierarchy of ruling tech priests, as well as their vast menagerie of followers. All within the Mechanicus have completely devoted themselves to what they refer to as the Divine Trinity. That is, the Machine God, the Omnissiah, and the Motive Force. The Machine God being the divine being the cult worships that is said to be the keeper and bestower of all knowledge within the universe. The Omnissiah being the Emperor of mankind, who they see as the avatar of the Machine God given physical form in order to walk the material universe. And finally, the Motive Force, the energy that allows all creations, be they mechanical or organic.
Whoa, the eyes there are crazy.
They believe the Motive Force is embodied in its purest form through machine spirits, the invisible sentience that resides in each and every machine. The Trinity is seen as the embodiment of wisdom and the guiding force of the universe that empowers everything.
Let's
now,
go
a quick side note here.
over
The term Omnissiah is often used in the source material to
this
refer to
back.
the Emperor and the Machine God interchangeably. Because the Mechanicus views knowledge as the supreme manifestation of
this
divinity,
back part
all
here, we
creatures
did
and
forget
artifacts that
that.
contain knowledge are holy. The Emperor is seen as a supreme object of worship, considering just how much knowledge he contains and how much he's able to comprehend. This can get a little bit confusing on whether or not they're praying to the Machine God.
Yeah,
or
because
to
I
the
was...
Emperor.
Okay, that is something that I was actually kind of wondering. When they say praise the Omnissiah doesn't mean the Machine God, right? But I didn't realize that... And I knew they liked the Emperor and respected the Emperor and praised him and all. But I didn't realize that they actually thought the Emperor was going to be, what, the Avatar? Wait, the Omnissiah is the Avatar, right? Interesting. Kind of weird.
Don't worship the Emperor as the
And thank
one
you,
true
Dad,
God
for
of
the
humanity,
anniversary
like
wishes.
the
I'm
Emperor
very...
is
I didn't even
the
fucking know today was my
avatar of the
fucking
Machine God. Thus, they
affiliate
worship
anniversary. I feel like
him,
such a
they are worshiping
dum-dum,
the
but
Machine
thank
God
you.
directly. So
It's
when
so
they say
kind of
things
you.
like praise the Omnissiah, they may be referring specifically to the Machine God, to the Emperor, or to the Machine God through his proxy, which is the Emperor. The simplest way of thinking of it is that they worship both because both are one and the same.
Okay. He literally just answered my
Is
question.
an extension of the divine will of the Machine God. They see technology and the sacred act of its creation as the most holy of concepts.
And thank you,
Conversely,
Christoph.
any form of deviance from their creed, i.e. the disrespect of machine spirits through the dissection
Skaven
of the construct
video.
they inhabit,
Ooh,
Xenos
let's
technology,
watch that.
and machines that can think for themselves, of which the Mechanicus
AJ
refers
will
to
definitely
as
like that.
abominable intelligence, are all viewed as the ultimate expression of tech heresy.
I do want to hold on this video because I like it. We will be bouncing to this video again. Let's go looking at this Skaven video. What is this one? There's a few. Alright, let's look at this one. And then we'll look at the other one Bjorn posted as well. The Horned Rats, Thanquol. The Horned Rats, funny, silliest clown thing, fighting his toughest, hardest battle fights. What is this? Wait, let's watch. Let's watch.
Warhammer has a lot of characters in it. Shocking, I know. Also surely shocking to you is that
Love the
people like
voice.
some of these characters quite a bit. I myself, of course, am partial to the Prince and Emperor of Reichland, Karl Franz, but there's plenty of other characters that have cults of personalities around them as well. Just ask someone who's read the Night Lord's Omnibus. They'll scream at you about Talos for so long you'll think you've ended up in Whiterun by mistake.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Never exist in Warhammer. It's just how it is. Even Iron Hands fans can somehow argue for hours about how Ferrus Manus is interesting. It doesn't matter how prominent a character
Oh, he's
actually is in
interesting.
these settings.
Yikes.
They all have their rabid fans, but one stands above all of them. There can only be one character in Warhammer that is truly the greatest of them all, and in this case, that title does not go to an Ultramarine. For this character, we must delve deeper. We have to enter into the layers of Skavendom to find him. For where else would we find the
Skavendom.
greatest character, if not in the greatest faction?
Posture
The
check.
wizards
Everyone's
of
gotta sit up
boundless power,
straight.
the warriors
Sit up
of
straight.
unparalleled
And
might,
shake your
who
paints.
even
Shake your
God can feel it
paints.
themselves, the mightiest duo to ever grace Warhammer, all have been equally unable to rid the world of our true hero. The one, the only, Grey Seer Thanquol. In him you will find true bravery, courage, endless magical might strength, and only the finest of tactical strategic minds to ever be seen in the universe. Today, we talk about not just a silly rat man, but the
Silly rat man. The silly rat
Take
man.
an educated guess. You either have or currently are using my videos to fall asleep. It's no worries, I do that with YouTube too. And if you'd like some phenomenal sleep aids, you could do no better than Manta Sleep, the sponsor of this video. Manta Sleep makes not just sleep masks, but the finest of sleep masks to ever grace this planet. When you pop one of these bad boys on, you're in for a world of comfort and easy sleep. And I can vouch for it personally.
Wait,
I have a few of
what?
their sleep masks, and as of late, I've been using the weighted sleep mask.
Whoa.
It's a nice bit of pressure that helps me relax and fall asleep. The premium
I have sleep issues, so that actually is interesting. But that looks so strange to have that on your face. Doesn't matter. Anyways.
Tonight. Now then, time to pay respects not only to Thanquol, but Bone Ripper and his thousands of identically named brothers. Thanquol's origins aren't completely known.
Never. Why is everybody so against posture check? Damn.
Educated guesses. Whatever clan.
Also, how you doing, Melanie? I hope you're doing good today.
Horns growing out of his head. So from birth, he was already destined to become a Grey Seer. Becoming an apprentice to an existing Grey Seer named Sleekit, he was a model apprentice to his liege, just as dutiful, studious, and loyal to Sleekit as any apprentice would be to their own Skaven master. To translate that, he was dutiful in trying to get his fellow apprentices
Water. And even more water. So everyone's got to go take a sip now. 1 second. I want to go back a little bit.
He was a model apprentice to his liege, just as dutiful, studious, and loyal to Sleekit as any apprentice would be to their own Skaven master. To translate that, he was dutiful in trying to get his fellow apprentices killed and framed for things, studious in all the ways he could potentially get his master killed so he could take his place, and of course, loyal enough that when his master was crushed to death, Thanquol stayed just long enough to watch him die and steal Sleekit's staff and amulet so he could become a Grey Seer instead.
That's pretty fucking...
played a part in his master's demise. He's a Grey Seer, of course he was involved in his master's death. His fellow
That's just a
apprentices
common
all
thing?
done on their own, though, or at least without Thanquol's direct help. In between his origin and Gotchick and Felix, not too much happens, but at some point in his life he was picked up by Seer Lord Kritislik, the head of the Grey Seers and a member of the Council of 13. Thanquol was specifically chosen by the head of all Grey Seers to be his top guy, so you know his life is going to be fun to read about. Now this video is going to be a bit more of me yapping about all things Thanquol has done, because I just like talking about the funny rat more than anything.
The funny rat.
First appearance. At first glance, the title of the book does not bode well for him, I must admit. Skaven Slayer, a Felix book. Thanquol at this point was deemed to have enough importance to the Council of 13 and Kritislik to be given command of the Skaven invasion of the Imperial city of Nuln. The head of the Empire's engineering and gunpowder production, Nuln would be a great city to take down in any invasion of the Empire of Man. Thanquol was to lead the charge on this operation.
Woo, autism stream! I don't have autism, but,
Thanquol's initial plan to take over Nuln was, in all honesty, not a bad one. One of the heads of Nuln was, shall we say, not a fan of mutants even by Warhammer standards, but somehow in this insane man's mind, Skaven were okay to work with for a bit. They were
do not
outwardly
have the
bad, you see,
autism.
whereas the insidious mutant lurks anywhere and should be dealt with first. This attitude led to him trusting Thanquol, a sentence that doesn't bode well for anyone. Thanquol's plan was to
Artism?
the individual in question, to eventually cause a civil war in the Empire by way of getting Karl Franz's brother-in-law killed. Fine plan, but unfortunately Gotchick and Felix tripped
But you
over
do
it.
have
At
a
the
cone
time, they
head.
were working
Oh
on
shit,
sewer
bro
taxes
got me
and
there.
building
Homie
sewer
got me
stuff
there.
because they were
I don't have
specifically
autism, but I am
because
cone-headed.
those two are in a
So,
perpetual state
I
of
do have
having
my
no
cone head,
money
yes.
and needing odd jobs to get by. And eventually they found Fritz speaking to a Skaven, eventually found out his identity, and tracked him down and killed him. Thanquol's part in this was to fight Felix, watch as Gottrick ripped his pet rat ogre in half with a single blow, and then wisely chose to be anywhere but where those two were at. But the Nuln saga continues, friends. Thanquol, as any good Skaven leader does, had underlings, most of the important ones from the various great clans of the Skaven.
We're
Mulder,
not gonna
Scryer, all
paint
the big hits.
these
underlings
inside
started coming
ones
up with
as
plans
much,
to
at
take
least
over
not with
Nuln,
more than
which would be
one
great for
little,
anyone
like,
else, but for a
base,
Skaven
just
leader, that's
because
basically
we
the end of
want
the
to keep
world.
that
Those
shading
underlings will
in
get the credit
there.
and alert the Council of 13 that Thanquol doesn't deserve to be in charge anymore. So Thanquol starts mailing Gottrick and Felix letters telling them about every single plan the Skaven are going to be working towards, because it can't be the Skaven that succeed, it has to be him, Grey Seer Thanquol, to take down Nuln. And because it's Gottrick and Felix, all of these plans are dealt with, some a bit less successfully than others, but nothing works well enough for the Skaven to take down Nuln. Clan Pestilence is going to spread some diseases with a super plague. Better send a letter to the dwarf and the manling to go stop them. Clan Scryer is going to steal the steam tank. Tell the dynamic duo to kill every rat involved. The best part of all of this is that Gottrick and Felix take a single look at these letters and go,
butt plug head! Yo!
But they just shrug and listen anyway.
Homie!
From Thanquol's perspective, this is a genius act
butt plug head is so... That's so real, though.
Really doesn't like the others.
That's so real, though. Butt plug head.
These two are perhaps going to cause him some trouble down the line, and sends clannish and assassins to kill him. Doesn't work. The Skaven Slayer
Thank you,
stories are the
Pawn.
first omnibus, and there's 6 of those things. Of course, it doesn't work. After this, there's an event where
Warhammer definitely requires some form of mental abnormality. Are you calling Henry Cavill, are you saying Henry Cavill has some sort of mental abnormality? Are you saying Superman? Seriously, for realsies? For realsies, dog? How could you?
Kicked him out. Thankful scurries away to plot another day.
Not my favorite Geralt of Rivia.
Thankful, and it lost him quite a bit of money and power. And he knew if he returned to Skavenblight, the Council of 13 would ask him what the hell went wrong.
Thank you, Cage, for the love. I'm so happy that everyone's being so nice on my affiliate anniversary. When I didn't even have anything special planned. I feel so bad. Nerdism is a mental abnormality. That's actually so true. Also, is that a Hyphala emote? Oh my gosh, I love Hyphala.
Which failed, so there is very one sad death scene for a dwarf who is stationed as a guard, only to be poisoned to death as he alerts everyone the Skaven are here now. Thankwol's army ends up being routed, but not before he learns that the dwarfs had built themselves a war zeppelin. So he has his little ratty Skaven underling, Lurk Snitchtongue, that he's been abusing and having work as a spy, hitch a ride on the damn thing. Since he can see through this poor rat's eyes, he's constantly badgering him on updates on where the Thunder Barge is going. Lurk, who's trying to Skyrim stealth his way around a dwarf Thunder Barge without getting caught, is constantly trying to hide not only his physical presence, but Thankwol's magical communications with him. At one point, he was forced to hide on the outside.
Thank you again, Tasu, for the lyric. Oh, no, I didn't thank you. Thank you for the lyric, Tasu.
A rat ogre because his boss wouldn't let him go home when his shift said he was supposed to be done. And when Thankwol meets back up with him, it's right before Godric and Felix are about to head to the Chaos Wastes themselves. Thankwol, who had gathered another army of underlings courtesy of Clan Mulder...
Skaven lore, indeed. I knew you were going to be excited about it, AJ. I was like, oh, AJ's going to have a blast with this one. Yeah, this rat slayer dude seems pretty cool. It seems pretty cool.
When the fellas showed up alongside Snorri and Malachi, they all started fighting. Thankwol himself, so of course Max and
Rats, weird rats.
Thankwol started magically wrestling over the airship. And while I haven't really focused much on it,
ooh, that looks kind of cool.
Thankwol is an absurdly powerful wizard when he's at the top of his game. Especially after he's chowed down on Warpstone, he can blast damn near anyone out of his way. He might need a bit of a breather afterward. Zor, not for Lurk, suddenly
let's do it a little lighter so we don't fuck up that black priming a little, because I want to use that as like a shading looking kind of thing.
The human wizard noted that Thankwol was absurdly powerful and he needed all of his focus to win. Eventually, though, Thankwol was beaten, and he fled this encounter with a teleporting spell after he realized that Godric was about 10 feet from him with murder in his eyes. Thankwol reappeared back in reality alone some distance away and realized that once again every one of his underlings, and for that matter all of his money, was gone, and he had no idea how to get back to Skavenblight. Lurk showed up, which wasn't really good news for Thankwol, because he was about as happy as anyone could be towards the person who made them sit outside in a rainstorm from hell. But Thankwol threatens to blast him with magic, so instead of fighting, they wander around, discover that a massive chaos horde is invading from the north because it's Warhammer and that just happens sometimes.
It's Warhammer and that just happens sometimes. It's such a valid explanation for some things. It's Warhammer. It happens sometimes.
Nolan survived and wasn't terribly happy with them. Thankwol's trying to desperately explain that chaos is coming, everyone, and the dude he's talking to is just like, yes, how very intriguing. Have you considered we don't care and I hate you?
I love the screen shake for that is so good.
Rat guy, so of course he has a free
little rat guy.
Because Thankwol has a direct magical connection to Lurk that lets him know where he is and what he's doing, Lurk's slave revolt is completely halted, and Thankwol has once again gotten himself back into a stable-ish position.
Yeah, I was gonna say, really, is it that stable? Really?
Well, Godric and Felix
yo, look at that guy. Oh my god. That artwork is crazy.
Towards the end, he fights part of the same horde Godric and Felix were, and in his own words, despite not even outnumbering the enemy because there were only 4 Skaven for every 1 Chaos Warrior, victory was achieved. And props to him because, yeah, he just won the fight. There wasn't much going on with it. It was a side story in the main Godric and Felix book that amounted to a bunch of rats jumping Chaos Warriors who thought they were going to go fight someone else. But hey, A win is a win, and Thanquol is ready to enjoy some rewards for a resounding Skaven victory. Oh, and before I move on to his own books, at one point in the Godric and Felix books, Thanquol is using a far squeaker, basically Skaven Skype. It blew up in his face.
Skaven Skype?
This was also the singular.
How old is this video? Wait, how old is Skype?
Blame on sabotage by other people.
2 weeks ago!
This rat is Pete. We've reached the pinnacle of fictional characters right here. So anyway,
Wait, that's a Grayseer? I think that's a Grayseer, yeah.
Immediately he is being
9 out of 10 Grayseers are
The best part
usually
of this is it
insane.
doesn't begin with him even conscious. He is dreaming of himself achieving ultimate power, only to be thwarted by Godric and Felix.
Skaven had video calls in a fantasy setting. That's kind of badass, though.
Time thinking about that even this relatively early into their story and his own. When he wakes up, he's tied to a pole being carried by other rats, and immediately, and I mean immediately, he starts blaming other people for his predicament. Sabotage by his underlings, incompetence by his underlings, the hated Godric and Felix things that keep ruining his plans. Nothing is ever his fault, of course. He's taken to the Council of 13, and when he meets with them, instead of congratulating him on defeating a random Chaos army, they're like, hey buddy, where's the Zeppelin? Then they drop him in a hole which he fears is the, quote, maze of inescapable death. But thankfully no, he finds out it's just the maze of merciless penance, which in theory you can survive. Also, of course the Skaven have things like that. Why wouldn't they have something called the Maze of Inescapable Death?
I was gonna say, what do they need that for? Punishment?
Resembling a position of power, and is told to go snoop around under Altdorf. The Skaven Undercity, that's of course under Altdorf. The Council doesn't think those Skaven under Altdorf and under Altdorf are quite as loyal as they should be. Plus, there's an artifact of power that's recently been uncovered there, and the Council of 13 wants it. So he goes to under Altdorf, but not before he gets some chances to be.
Skaven tech is honestly insane. I mean, they had Skype, bro, in a fantasy setting. Space travel? Seriously?
Like rat shit, but by virtue of being food that isn't the corpse of another Skaven.
How many Skaven are there? There's like an insane amount of Skaven, right?
He tosses some away to show how wealthy he is and to have other Skaven be jealous of him. On the ship that'll take him to Under Altdorf, he also kicks the Skaven boat captain in the face.
Funny glowing green stones. Yeah, they've got fucking everything, dude. What's with this?
Ends with the crew of the ship Thanquol is on randomly whipping slaves because they feel slighted. Skaven society truly is a marvel of social engineering. As the book goes on,
why are they
Thanquol
such
finds more
dicks?
information about the artifact he's after, called the Wormstone.
It's all thanks to the shiny little green rocks. What are they, and what do they do? What do these shiny little green rocks do?
If a Skaven touches it, there is no ill period. They just die and make more worms. Now's a good time to mention something about Thanquol and his books. They're horror stories. For pretty much everyone that isn't a Skaven, Thanquol's books are an unrelenting march of terror as people wonder what is happening, how to stop it, realizing there's a dastardly Skaven.
They may be the most memorable race in Warhammer Fantasy. I thought it was the fact that they were.
Back to the eternal circus that is Thanquol's life. It's hard to put into words how utterly horrifying it is to be in one of his books if you aren't Thanquol. And the main antagonist of Grayseer, because calling anyone but Thanquol the bad guy is woefully incorrect, proves this in many ways. There exists the Shadow Wizard in Altdorf known as Jeremiah Scrivener. He's a secretive protector of Altdorf, with a vast range of contacts and underlings from all walks of life.
That's some Gandalf-looking shit. He's got a...
The dude's so intimidating that's like a ghost when he walks in a room. People he's near can't see him if he doesn't expressly allow them to. They only feel a dark and foreboding presence. He makes the room he enters grow chill, ice starts creeping up on the mirrors, and of course, as a shadow wizard, he can manipulate shadows as he likes. The dude is so
That's
powerful,
badass. That is some Gandalf-ass shit, though.
And aside from being terrifying to the human characters of Grayseer, the few times he's relatively open about what threats they face, he's talking about a threat that can completely destroy Altdorf. This unending tide of vermin beneath the city, led by a mastermind rat, hatching a plot that can destroy all of it. And worst of all, he's right, because the Skaven eventually decide to use the Wormstone to poison all of Altdorf's water supply in the most horrific way possible. The entire book for the human characters is an absolute nightmare, and as the human characters find various people afflicted by the Wormstone's plague, as well as encounter the Skaven, you can see just why people are utterly...
Basically, magic materialized. Okay, pretty sick.
And it's just a sequence of him being an
Fantasy Uranium. Yeah.
He meets the ruler of Under Altdorf.
Skaven spellcasters also consume like meth to do magic better. Is it looked down upon to consume it like that, or is it like normalized? Is meth normalized in Warhammer culture, you guys? Is meth normalized?
He does warp snuff sometimes too, which I'm pretty sure is
Huh?
just crack. I know Warhammer is already pretty similar to Coke, but
yeah, wait, we were just
that, but it doesn't boost your powers. Grey
Oh,
Seer
okay.
is my least favorite of the 3 books, so I won't spend too
It's
much time on it.
normalized.
Please do not take that to mean it's any lesser of a read. That'd be like saying out of these 3 gold bars, this one's the smallest, so it's completely worthless. As the book progresses,
I'm just
Thankful
looking
makes about
down here
50
to see
different lines
what
of
I should do
begging,
next.
lying,
Could
promising
do
to backstab someone
these.
else, and then
This
actually
copper.
backstabbing someone else before repeating. There is also at one point another Bone Ripper involved. This one has 3 arms and is supposedly the largest one yet. It dies, because of course it does. It
dies because of course it does.
Pestilence diseased rat creature thing before it can get Thankful though, which Thankful does appreciate. In fact, the only things I think he ever has any semblance of positive, genuine emotions towards are his various rat ogres that he always immediately names Bone Ripper. Doesn't stop him from hitting them or berating them, of course. It just means that when they do something nice, he might actually seem appreciative.
Alright, let's go
Eventually, we come to a
for...
climactic battle.
He's got the swords, so
who's
we could do
incidentally
Leadbelcher, but
Scroll,
first let's
even
do
this
the
early on,
copper.
anyone who isn't Thankful is completely
I'd like to
tertiary
do
to Thankful and
that.
Thankful's plans, respectively. All the Skaven involved are also fighting Jeremiah Scrivener and his ragtag army. Thankful had dueled with him on several occasions throughout the book, and the entire time it was from the Shadowmancer's perspective. He's watching this rat counter almost every trick he has, where even though he mostly
let's
has
close
the
this
upper hand, the
baby.
Grey Seer is clearly a dangerous foe.
Let's
Then we
open
cut
this
back to Thankful, and
baby.
it's back
We're
to
gonna
being
open
a
some
comic.
Balthazar
He's chewing
gold.
on Warpstone both for the power
Look, this
of
is
his
Balthazar
power
gold, and it
fight,
looks
also
like
whenever he
gray
fights
on the
someone
webcam.
else
That's how
fight.
shit this
He
webcam
becomes
is.
even more of a megalomaniac before he reins himself in a bit. This manifests throughout the entire series, and in this case it leads to him promising to kill Scrivener, Skrolk, all of under Altdorf,
Scrivener, Scroll,
Altdorf,
Vlorp,
Thankful's
Norp,
reading a line, he's
Vlorf,
ready to fight the entire planet. In this
Bib
book, he's
Bob.
also the Skaven version of Batman, because he bought a bunch of good luck charms, magic scrolls, and magical amulets that
Sorry,
made
I'm just
him
naming
happy, which are
random
actually magical,
things.
and he didn't just get scammed. He loses the final fight of the book, but he whips out a teleportation scroll and just dips. And the way the book ends, truly, oh good lord, is it funny. Thankful
I would love
teleports
some
barely
good
through
Warhammer
and he's
book
surrounded by cats for some
recommendations,
reason.
even
Obviously,
fantasy, because
not
I
doing
actually
great
really
after
enjoy
every
fantasy
bit of
books
this
and
happened.
fantasy reading.
But just then, some
So.
fat old lady comes in, sees him, and faints in terror. And I swear to you, I'm not just being mean when I say that. Thankful calls her one of the plumpest examples of humans he's ever seen.
Jesus.
The final sentences of the book are him trying to come up with a lie for the Council of 13 as to why he
I really could use a smaller brush.
praising the Horned Rat for gifting him such a bountiful meal in the form of that soon-to-be very dead old lady. Some fantasy books end with the hero rescuing the princess and saving the day. Others end with the promise of hope.
Gotrek and
horizon,
Felix
but much more
books for
needs to be done
sure.
to reach it. Warhammer fantasy books end with a
okay.
rat mad eating a fat lady after he does drugs. Best series by far. So Thankful's doing a bit better now after that book. Not
Too
by
much water
much,
on
but
there.
he's doing better. Managed to avoid being executed by the Lords of Decay, too, even if Clan Eshin's lords clearly had plans for him. He decides to take himself on a walk through Skavenblight, and even buys himself another Bone Ripper. All in all, he's doing pretty good. Then a bunch of garbage Skaven assassins try to kill him. The real competent one
Let's
tries
use
to
this
poison
other
him,
brush
and
for
then
this.
he tries to get Thankful killed via Skaven Crowd Crush. It was funny because when he saw the 3 Goober assassins walking towards him, he was in utter disbelief.
Goober
He was
assassins.
complete shock at how bad they were at their job, visibly approaching him wearing what looked like assassin garb and drawing knives. Then the actual assassins started fighting, and he understood what was happening then. Him and Bone Ripper number 4, I think we're on 4 now, drive off these assailants, and Thankful scuttles away to the room he's renting. Then he gets jumped by Deathmaster Sniksh, who cuts down Bone Ripper in seconds and brings him to Night Lord Sneak, Grandmaster of Clan Eshin. Our absurd rat protagonist should by all reason and logic be dead, but for reasons I simply cannot comprehend, people keep trying to use Thankful for some reason. His track record is noticeably failure after failure by this point, but if I had to
Dude, why
guess,
would people want to keep using him, man?
tall guy
His resume is
with one
shit.
lizard on the cheek, but I think Thankful is a good way to go about that. Thankful is
Some
now
of the
involved in
Skaven
a
clan
Clan
video
Eshin
I like to-
scheme
yes,
set
yes,
in
yes,
the
yes, yes, yes.
Sotek, whose name I'm not even going to pretend to try and say. It's a red-crested skink. It isn't the goober you probably only know for having a bad Total Warhammer campaign, and he resides in a city only relatively recently being re-inhabited by the Lizardmen after Clan Pestilence made it all icky. For a brief cut into what the non-Skaven characters will be doing in this book, it is as follows. The human characters, and briefly an elf, are going through hell as they're marooned in Lustria and subjected to all the hells of this continent.
I'm like not even breathing because I want to get this right.
For Aslan, the entire book was orchestrated by him as he tries to figure out if the cult of Sotek the Skinks have is actually a good thing or not, since the Slan really aren't sure on if Sotek is a good or a bad thing for the Great Plan. All the suffering of everyone involved in this book is the Slan's fault, because for some reason they can't determine if the god of their minions that despises the Skaven is a force for good or not. Anyways, back to the Red Man. Thanquol is immediately upset to find out he's not the one in charge of the expedition, and almost immediately after learning this, begins devising ways to get the true leaders killed. Naturally, none of these...
Of course he just wants to kill them, of course. I like this guy, he's funny.
Once the Skaven themselves arrive in Lustria, they start scouting out how to find the Temple of the Serpent and Sotek's prophet. Of course, first a few dozen of them...
He's like, I'm not leading, kill, murder.
Skaven died. Grass is
playing Space Marines 2 right now, hell yeah.
What is worth mentioning is something that was brought up by the human and elf characters during one of the segments. In the southern tip of Lustria is a high elf settlement they briefly planned to escape to. In between them and that settlement lies the vampire...
Nice! I did that shoulder pad pretty good if I do say so myself.
This is not an issue. For the Skaven and Thanquol, this is an issue. Because throughout their bumbling
the Lizardman
swamp,
is fun
they
to
trip
play.
over a particular bit of swamp infested with zombies that start eating them.
Based on Mayan mythology. Ooh, okay, that's pretty sick. That's pretty cool.
Fighting before he's jumped by the same first Skaven assassin from earlier. This assassin is actually one of his underlings from Skaven Slayer who wanted revenge for Thanquol getting him and his fellows killed and humiliated. And the thing is, this whole time Thanquol's putting in the work. He basically goes full red rage and brutalizes a bunch of zombies, and he manages to bash the assassin in the face and cause them to be dragged down by the zombies. Thanquol, when he locks in, is apparently an incredibly deadly melee combatant. He also has one of my favorite moments ever. When the assassin jumped him in the swamp, he has a brief moment of contemplation afterwards and goes, wait a minute, I know exactly who the assassin is and who's trying to kill me, and then proceeds to blame entirely the wrong Skaven for this. He goes insane in melee again, too. As everyone gets to the Temple of Sotek over the story's course, there's naturally both lizardmen and spawning pools to make more of them. Thanquol eventually captures the human characters to allow him entrance into the temple, because he needs a human to destroy the anti-Skaven wards around it. They get in and discover that there's a massive, sacred snake at the center of the temple. Thanquol ends up being vaguely involved in getting the other Skaven killed, because while as Skaven they can plan backstabs with the best of them, Thanquol might as well have the divine protection from the Horned Rat, and no one can really hurt him. Eventually it comes down to Thanquol, one of the humans who had been forced into the temple by Thanquol. He saw the human surrounded by lizardmen, realized he was going to be next if the human died, and went utterly ballistic. He slaughtered dozens of skinks in melee combat while Bone Ripper was fighting a Rockshore. There's a new Bone Ripper, by the way. It was a rat ogre one of the previous leaders owned.
Skinks, skunks,
There was a lot of threatening and blackmail involved. I wouldn't worry about the specifics.
Horned Rat is our god. That's what I kind of assumed.
For the world. Once that was dealt with, Thanquol and the human began searching for another human, because Thanquol knew he needed the first human as insurance, and so did the human in question. They eventually find said captured human, and Thanquol immediately makes a break for it. The human he was with shoots the prophet of Sotek because the skink was about to do that Indiana Jones rip your heart out of your chest.
Yes, Kalima!
The human he was traveling with and his kind of girlfriend go do their own thing.
Kind of girlfriend.
Alert, but Thanquol and Bone Ripper, oh, this pair isn't done, because they begin tracking the assassin who had survived the zombie mud pit back to the ship that carried them there. Surprisingly, they track him back to the ship, and not only did the assassin not sail away already, but he was already dead. On the downside, though, he was dead because those zombies from earlier boarded the ship and killed the assassin. Thanquol and Bone Ripper go ham for a bit once again before Thanquol realizes, uh-oh, I'm using warp fire magic, and one of those zombies he cooked had just fallen into the ammunition storage of the ship. So Thanquol dives off the ship onto a raft into the water, and it takes just long enough for him to feel stupid about doing so before the powder storage goes off.
Also, apologies if I'm not paying full attention to YouTube chat. It is a lot to manage more than one chat. I will.
Idiot for daring to claw his way to safety near his master, and then, much like the Grinch, Thanquol.
But I'm going to be trying my best to make more of an effort.
The raft Thanquol was on had water, but not much food. Bone Ripper number whatever we're on was basically...
Bone Ripper whatever we're on is great.
So the last we see of Thanquol's point of view in this book is him once again thanking the Horned Rat for providing...
So I do want to apologize, though, for my YouTube homies.
His pet. This is now the second book in a row where Thanquol's finished it by eating a living creature. The rest of this book is full of amazing little moments, too. Like I mentioned earlier, Thanquol didn't buy or was gifted this Bone Ripper like he normally was. It was initially a bodyguard for one of the other Skaven leaders of the expedition. Thanquol spends a lot of time
So he
up
just
to a
stole
certain
that
point
too?
complaining that a real Skaven wizard doesn't need something as pathetic as a rat ogre bodyguard to be safe and look tough. But then the singular moment he gets to be in charge, he immediately commandeers the Rat Ogre and renames it Bone Ripper. This kind of thing is constant, too. He will regularly lambast other people for things he says are wrong and he dislikes, but then nanosecond things go in his favor, everything he complains about is suddenly perfectly valid. The concept of shame has never entered Thanquol's mind, and I'm glad. I don't want him to ever feel shame. If he felt shame, I'm pretty sure he'd melt. The pinnacle of Thanquol's point of view. It's from the Slann who started this mess. At least some Slann view the world as mathematical equations. Magic, the people living in it, all part of one big mathematical equations of the old ones. This Slann in particular calls the various humans and rats low variation fractals. They can change things and be a bit random, but you can figure them out for the most part pretty easily. Much like the rest of the Slann and Lizardmen, he also hates rats.
The Slann? Oh, they look like big gushy mushy things. God.
Mercy without Thanquol ever knowing. As Thanquol was sailing away, he could have done any number of things to sink and kill him, but he concluded that leaving Thanquol alive would cause more harm to the Skaven than it would bring everyone else benefit to kill him. The Slann seeing the world as math just makes it so much more perfect. It literally did the math, consulted all the formulas, and the end result of the magical calculation.
I'm shaking way too much.
Myself,
they're big magic toads. Warhammer Fantasy is just a different breed.
Surely aren't as pathetic and harmful to those around you that someone who considers you worse than demons would let you live. But on the other hand, that's one hell of an accomplishment. Imagine Doom Guy leaving a demon alive.
Yeah.
So many more demons alive than the one dead demon you get by killing it. That's legitimately impressive. That's a level of shit that no one can hope to aspire to.
Pretty much, yeah.
So Thanquol's already off to a good start because it begins with the Slann from before talking to the Shadowmancer from the first book about how Thanquol is going to be a huge problem for a dwarf hold the wizard has an agent in. On the end of the dwarfs of this book is a mad dash to stop.
Thank you, rats, for the love for the affiliate anniversary, y'all.
Respect for progress and tradition invents automatic machine gun turrets because we're going full steampunk this book, and it's overall good stuff. But we aren't here for them. We're here for the clown, and by God is Thanquol on form from the get-go. It begins with him washing ashore into a real shithole of a settlement even by Skaven standards, but one under the thrall of a greater clan, so we can't just start evaluating.
Love Skaven lore so much. It's very dramatic, or at least this guy is.
Decides it'd be a good idea to jump Thanquol. Now at first it's portrayed
okay,
as a bit
let's
of a predicament,
think.
with
Which
a whole lot of rats ready to rob and kill our boy. Then the Skaven warlord makes a crucial mistake because Thanquol is a PTSD-ridden little goober. The Skaven in charge rubs his thumb along his weapon's edge and draws a little bit of blood. It's a nothing action. It's at most a little idle tick the Skaven warlord apparently has. Unfortunately, another character who does the same thing before a fight is, of course, Gatra Gerdison, and Thanquol very well remembers it, so he freaks out and evaporates the dude on the spot with magic. Some dwarf slaves break free, Thanquol starts braining people with his staff.
Okay, that is it right here, that's it.
Thanquol commandeers his new boat and heads to Skaven Blight. Now, have you ever read, like, poorly written fan fiction or something? Where
yes, I've written poorly,
poorly
just
stuff?
written fan fiction.
Kind of like the inverse of that. He meets plenty of big-name Skaven characters. He's been around the block. He met Lord Skrulk in his first book, who tried to kill him. He met Deathmaster Snikch, who very easily could have killed him and only didn't do so because Clan Eshin could use him for their goals. And shortly into Thanquol's doom, we start meeting more characters. Thanquol has learned by this point from the various attempts on his life, and once he's reacquired himself a bunch of new minions and bodyguards, he starts taking various back alleyways to get to where he's going. I can't fault him for his caution. Legitimately, Thanquol can be dangerously intelligent sometimes. It's like he's the uncanny
I linked it again, thank you. We'll check that out right after this one. I'm like hooked into this one, I like it a lot.
Archaon wouldn't be the Ever-Chosen, it'd be this rat. But he's missing those last few IQ points to clear the valley, so he slides back down into being the world's biggest idiot.
One needs
Anyways,
to
the
be
alley
silver
plan
inside.
Snikch
We'll do
shows up and
that.
kills all his servants and tells him to say nothing about his involvement.
We'll do Lead Belcher for that, but let's finish
God
going
bless
with
his
this
little
one.
rat soul. In this moment, Thanquol was just utterly confused. Not even in a how can I spin this to my advantage and get out alive kind of way. He was just genuinely unable to understand why this should be kept a secret. He even says the words almost verbatim, but I did kill the prophet of Sotek, because like I said, we couldn't clear the uncanny idiot valley, so Thankful really hit Sniksh with, but I did have breakfast today. When Sniksh leaves, Thankful's bodyguards are all dead, and it turns out his servants actually lived. They just stole all his belongings during the fighting and dipped, and then he gets kidnapped again. Back to Council of 13, back to being used by them for their own purposes. He was already being strong-armed by some other Skaven into assisting them assault the dwarf hold I'd mentioned earlier, and now the Council of 13 is telling him to keep doing that, but for their own schemes. And then the party gets ambushed during
I got paint on my paint holder. Oh.
Clanrat over and uses him as a human shield. He decides that won't actually work because the weapons firing at them are blowing cannonball-sized holes in Skaven, so he pushes the other.
I guess it's supposed to be like that.
Away. Turns out this
But still, it was so new and fancy and nice. Oh well. It's got character now.
Inverse Caiaphas Cain moment. He scurries back out of hiding, and all the assembled rats, even the scryer ambushers, look at him with awe and a little bit of dread. In his mind, it's because he thinks his legend has grown so much that all who see him bow in subservience. In actuality, it's because the scryer rats thought they lit him on fire, and it appeared like he just shrugged off their warp fire throwers. Neither of these things are true, but all of reality conspires to keep Thankful around, so it's best to just roll with it.
It's so strange that he causes all this drama, but everyone's like, keep him around. He's good to have, just in case we need someone to do something stupid.
Of the first Bone Ripper resurrected with the scryer technology, which he naturally once again calls Bone Ripper. Thankful after the ambush tried to pretend he told Bone Ripper to not harm the scryer rats, only for Claw to laugh and tell him this one has a shutdown valve that prevents it from hurting any members of Clan Scryer. Thankful then proceeds to look.
How often does this guy post a video?
Trying to see what Claw had hidden under a tarp. Turns out this was the beginning of a doom sphere, aka a Skaven nuke. It didn't work due to dwarf sabotage, but
Alright, just on the tip of the brush, we're going to
holds for no other reason than he wanted to prove he could build the biggest bomb ever. To those of you who are about to say that's a very 40k orky thing to do, no, it is not. Orcs are very Skaven-y sometimes, is what that is. Now, I'm going to jump to the end here for the most part, because as much as Thankful is great in all of this book, it's more of what I've been talking about. But the ending is truly Thankful at his best. Over the course of the book, a mummified paw of a terrible Skaven lord was found that can boost one's magical power, connection to the Horned Rat, and even summon a Vermin Lord. Thankful, of course, gets his paws on this paw, and eventually it's used to summon a Vermin Lord into the mortal world. Or at least, he wanted to use it to do that. Thankful, when he first got it, immediately felt something was off with it. Another Grey Seer he'd been forced to travel with.
What about the little thing there? No, that's gonna be Lead Belcher.
Even more insane than a Grey Seer having a power trip normally is. If Thankful is noticing you've gone crazy, something is terribly wrong with whatever is doing that to you. So he mostly just stored it in his pocket and used it to make threats. Moving to the end of the book, Thankful has ended up coming into contact with the Clan Moor's army.
I keep shaking.
Because at this point, the Thankful books are all an excuse to have well-known Skaven characters.
Dang it, I fucked up because I was shaking.
Queek tries to kill him, and at one point when Thankful says that's rat heresy, he tells Thankful that Queek has given many heads, and so the Horned Rat won't mind.
Yo, bro's given many heads, huh? Excuse me? Excuse me?
As Queek and Clan Moors begin assaulting the dwarf hold of the book one more time, Thankful realizes he's almost certainly screwed between the dwarfs and Queek actively trying to kill him, so he uses the mummified Skaven paw to bring forth an ancient Vermin Lord born of the powerful Seer of Legend. Except it was a little bit tampered with. It summoned a greater demon, alright, but instead of a Vermin
Need something to eat, Cabo? Yeah, I ate breakfast this morning. I've also got my emergency stream sausages. It's like little meat sticks I keep in my desk if I'm hungry during stream.
Character of the book can drop a statue of Alaya on Scarbrand's head. Even then, Scarbrand still has time before his total banishment to basically tell Thankful to give him a call whenever he wants. Scarbrand gave Thankful a murderous booty call to reiterate that sentence. The book ends with Thankful skittering away once again, offering prayers to both the Horned Rat and Khorne himself just to cover all his bases. But not before he blasted the dwarf and killed Scarbrand with magic to make himself feel better about the entire mess. And hey, on the bright side for something in these books, the rebuilt Bone Ripper lived. And since it was the reanimated corpse of the first one ever, technically this removes one dead Bone Ripper from the tally. Progress.
Is that really progress?
Thankful would go on to do his normal thing from here, of falling almost completely from grace, only to somehow claw his way back to being entrusted with entire armies and stashes of wealth. How he does this, no one knows. He's simply too garbage to actually fail, because it loops around into him being unstoppable. In the Godric and Felix novel Elf Slayer, Thankful decided he was done living in fear of the dynamic duo. So he tortured Felix's dad and information as to where he was and then killed him. Then he started sending waves of Skaven assassins after Godric.
So are these like official Warhammer books, or are these codexes, or emergency sausages sound so cool. I think I mean they're just like regular sausages here. They're right in my desk. They're really gummy. I don't have one right now actually.
And brought aboard a Skaven submarine. Don't ask about
They're yummy. They're books. They're like official Games Workshop books.
Does he bragging about all the torture he's gonna inflict on them, how he's gonna make them suffer as they made him suffer. 20 years of indignation in their hands.
Dip it in paint water. Yummy.
Was ultimately responsible for every single thing that went wrong
Wow.
in his life, be that directly or as a
Sausage
result
and paint water. Love it.
And right as he's really getting into it, Felix asks Thankful who he is. And in that moment, you could hear the world come to a halt. You could hear the singular gear in Thankful's brain screech to a stop as he tried
Singular
to
gear.
going on. It was as if he couldn't decide if he heard Felix correctly, or if all the warp stone and warp snuff he'd taken over the years was finally taking its toll on his health. And then Felix double-checked with Gotrek to see if the dwarf knew who Thankful was, only for Gotrek to respond with, "They all look the same to me, manling." And in that moment, Thankful broke. Not for long.
Did he?
Keep him down.
Yeah, okay. I was like, really? Did he actually?
Constantly foiling his
Finally?
despite him, had no idea who he was, and every time they did so, it was basically just a random encounter. The rest of him in that book is him zoning in on trying to capture the artifact Gotrek, Felix, and the other characters of the book were searching
Indiana
for.
Jones
Not only
moment?
Fails, but the submarine sinks, Gotrek and Felix get away.
Hot and spicy. Yeah, I love it. Hot and spicy.
He failed to kill his nemesis because he got greedy, but that was fine. This was just one more setback on Thankful's inevitable rise to power. He may have lost a hand in the process, but between his magical amulet that regenerates wounds that he just has on him and his own power, even that was just a temporary problem. And
I was gonna
out of all the end times
say,
lore there is,
like,
this goofball was one of the few who came out on top during it. Thankful was apparently part of the Skaven forces that destroyed Tylea, and shockingly did well enough or took enough credit from others that he was able to reach
Or
the
took
height of
enough
wealth
credit from
and
others
power.
is crazy.
Seer Lord Critislisk, fucking I don't know how to say that man's name. Seer Lord Critislisk, meanwhile, was accused of being a real goober by pretty much every Skaven of any worth. And then the Horned Rat himself showed up in the mortal world and ate the Seer Lord. The Skaven then unify, if only out of fear of also being eaten, and Thankful for his part gets to finally invade and conquer the city of Nuln as he once did all those years ago. And then finally we were given our proof. Proof that the Divine truly do smile upon Thankful, if only because they find him incredibly funny. Because as the new replacement Seer Lord, the most influential Skaven there is, the Horned Rat looked at every Grey Seer possible and then found Thankful. And lo, did the Horned Rat look
Like,
at our
why
rat
though,
and
of
say,
all
"You
the
are my
rats?"
top guy. You are the funny one who will bring my word to the world." And then Thankful was the new Seer Lord. The Vermin Lord Screech Vermin King gives Thankful a new and improved Bone Ripper. Thankful forges the
Another one. Another one. How many to count at this point?
Alongside his god helps drag Skaven Blight into the warp. He did it. He became the Skaven of all time. Now in Age of Sigmar,
The
we didn't have
Skaven
word
of
on
all
Thankful
time.
for a bit. But what we did have eventually was word of a mysterious figure of power and influence. A
Paint
being
these
known only as
pipes
the Grey
right
Lord,
here.
who demanded fear and obedience from his underlings. When we first learn of this being, we're told of a character commanding some pretty powerful people, and surely only a figure of true might could command such respect. And shit, it's Thankful, isn't it? It's gonna be Thankful.
I really want like a headlamp, headlight thing just for my forehead again. I used to have one in South Africa.
Finally become the feared and renowned Skaven leader he was always meant to be here. But the flip side of Thankful being blessed to never die is that he's cursed to never actually win in the end, because just as he made it to AOS, so too did none other than Gotrek Gurnison himself. No Felix, but the dwarf has come back with a vengeance, and now he sees Thankful as a proper enemy. Thankful has the freakout to end all freakouts as he learns Gotrek survives, and an uncountable number of years worth of PTSD crashes onto him all at once.
I wonder what the back should look like. Maybe just these
two clash
vents
in the
will
book Blood of the
be...
Old World over a realm gate that leads to Warhammer Fantasy, and while Gotrek gets a tearful goodbye with Felix through the rubble and the portal, Thankful does what he does best and runs
We'll
the
make
hell
that
away.
lead belcher
Now
color.
he plots and schemes anew, waiting to
Alright,
once
let's do the
again
knee
try and achieve total
pads.
dominance over all there is. Also, he saved all of Skaven Blight from drowning in AOS. He ran away afterwards, though, not only because he was afraid other Skaven figures would have him killed for his success, not only because his plans killed so many Skaven that even the other rat men thought it was excessive, but also because he might have had a part in Skaven Blight being flooded to begin with. And also there were zombies as part of the flood. There goes my hero. For lore positives of Thankful, all of them. He is the Skaven. If you like Skaven,
He's
you should
the
like
Skaven.
Thanquol. There's nothing else to be said here.
Really?
If you as a Skaven player somehow don't like Thanquol, you need to forfeit your Skaven army immediately.
Duh!
One rat cast 10,000 curses of brain explode upon you. But beyond that, if you want an army that will always destroy the enemy, you want Thanquol leading your army. Let's say you somehow play the worst game of Warhammer ever conceived. You don't destroy a single enemy model and get table turn 3. Doesn't matter. The aftermath of your tabletop match's lore will be something Thanquol had planned going horribly wrong in a way that causes all of his enemies to simultaneously go insane and then blow up. Thanquol getting a victory isn't the thing you have to worry about. It's how he
Yeah, he's so used to failure. It's like, come on.
Although, of course, a loss for Thanquol isn't truly a loss. It's just one more setback on the road to endless glory. Know in your heart that when Thanquol has been deployed to the field of battle, he can never truly lose. He simply postpones victory a little while longer. Even if his model is destroyed, it's fine.
Let's see what. Oh my god, his model. Holy shit.
Away.
What the fuck? Wait, is that him on top of a thing? Oh my god.
5 control and a 4-up save, as well as a 5-up ward save. Surprisingly tanky, even by non-Skaven standards. He's only a power level 2 wizard, which he no doubt finds incredibly insulting, but he rides forth on Bone Ripper to make up for these flaws.
Yeah, that's Bone Ripper, yeah.
Enemies quite all right.
Jesus Christ, that's crazy. I have that. That is actually crazy.
Fairly reliably hitting and being quite reliable at wounding. His fists are a bit less accurate, but wound just as easily and deal 3 damage a pop, while Thanquol hitting you in the face with his magic staff is definitely less reliable, but potentially just as deadly with D3 damage. He's gone berserk in melee throughout his stories, remember. Just because he's now old as hell doesn't mean he's any less deadly. As for his special abilities, his staff gives him +1 to casting rolls. Nothing flashy, but always an ability you'll love to see. He has an inbuilt spell that makes enemies unable to use commands and start beating each other to death to deal damage, and since it's flavored as him causing madness, I choose to believe it's his enemies realizing they're facing the mortal realm's most destructive.
Can't wait to start painting him. That looks like something that'd be hard to paint.
Combat phase,
that Bone Ripper.
From a D3 to 2d3 mortal damage on a target he's currently fighting, and at the end of a turn, he gets to heal D3 wounds. That first one lets Bone Ripper smash damn near anything he's in melee with into paste, and the last one is just free healing. There's never a time you won't appreciate free healing. For lore downsides, nah, I ain't doing that today. You get no lore downsides with Thanquol from me. I love him too much. As
I love him too much.
If he loses, it doesn't count, and if you kill him, you only killed Bone Ripper number 40,000. Any further potential downsides you can think of for Thanquol, such as your army being led by a massive coward who regularly gets his own underlings killed, is probably
I put his shoulder way too close to his leg.
Downsides, he is definitely a bit pricey at 360 points. You get a wizard who can kick ass in melee and regenerate for the cost, so I'd say you're definitely getting your money's worth, but just beware that if he goes down, nearly a quarter of a 2k point army is going with him. This next one, meanwhile, is more of a piece of advice than a downside, but I wouldn't recommend charging him headfirst into the center of your enemy's army just because he can kick ass. A D3 of healing and a decent save only counts for so much when everyone looks at him and begins beating his ass. On a semi-related note, as a big old monster unit, he can also be vulnerable to being tarp-hitted, so try and make sure he doesn't spend the entire match failing to finish off a bunch of goblins or something like that.
And then they're like
very silly after that happens. He loses attacks as he takes wounds as well, but that's pretty standard for monstrous units in Warhammer. Just something to be aware of. And that was Grey Seer Thanquol. Amongst the Skaven, none shine brighter than he.
I think that is good on that leg.
Shining as bright as a star. Thank you as always, my wonderful channel members. You are the Bone Ripper to my Thanquol.
You're the Bone Ripper to my Thanquol is so.
With a stick. If you'd like to support the channel, feel free to subscribe or become a member.
Awesome, motherfucker. That was a great video. I loved it. Let's look at the one AJ sent. The Great Skaven Clans. This is a long video, so I don't know if we're gonna get around to the whole thing, but we will see. Happy affiliate anniversary! Thank you so much, stepson. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the love. Thank you. Glad you like that. Pancreas has a way with words. He really does. He's a cool bean. Don't have to do the whole thing. I don't think I will, but I am curious enough to want to get a good chunk through it.
Who plague the old world and beyond. The hated greenskin hordes who live for naught.
I think you just said whores.
The dark and murderous vampires that toil in the night against the living. The filthy dark elves that struggle and strive to dominate the globe. And even the foul spawn of chaos. But there is an ever-present threat in the darkness of the underpasses that seeks to destroy all order and reason. Few are those who know of the silent, lurking menace that lies just below the surface. They are waiting, biding their time, scheming plots that extend unseen across the lands, an evil threat which lurks in the poisonous shadows. And there are those who are feared, hated, and reviled even within the Under Empire. The ruthless assassins and unparalleled skill.
Damn, where do they get these animations? Are these from games and stuff?
For the right price, these black-clad killers are capable of slaying any rival, steal any piece of information, infiltrate any fortress, and commit any act of sabotage as required.
Clan Eshin.
I
Alright,
feel
let's see.
the eyes upon
Total
me
War
wherever
Warhammer.
I go.
Okay, cool.
I cannot shake the notion that I am being followed. As I lay in my bed at night, I can hear the sound of claws upon the tiles of my roof. It is as if everything I do, every word I speak, is being marked.
Whew.
Before we continue exploring the lore of the great Skaven clans, we'd like to thank Warhammer.
Is this an actual voice actor, or is this,
for sponsoring this video. Immerse your... But, of course, and claim special reward.
Sorry. Or is that like, I don't know, it almost, it's so hard to find AI nowadays. I don't know.
Men, elves, and dwarves alike tremble with disgust and fear at the thought of the vile and hated Skaven. The children of the
He's
Horde
coming
rise
across
to
pretty
embody
nice. He's
all
coming
that
along.
is
He's coming
vile and
along.
A race that
Slowly
has
but
extended
surely.
through the ages to every kingdom above and below
To this
ground.
side and his knees on
Their
this
numbers
side.
are endless, as is the number of the clans that form the Skaven society, if it can even be called that. Amongst the four greatest Skaven clans, the warriors of Clan Eshin are particularly shadowy and mysterious. They have eyes and ears in every corner of the Under Empire and secret places of the surface cities and settlements. Most suspicious deaths and acts of espionage in Skaven society are blamed on the nefarious Clan Eshin. Such accusations are probably true, but, of course, there is no evidence. Led by
That's how you know they're
ancient Lord
good.
Thistrin, the clan vanished into the Far East, leaving the other Skaven clans left behind to wonder and speculate for centuries of their whereabouts. Many even forgot about their existence. However, after hundreds of years, the mysterious clan returned to Skavenblight from the distant lands of Nippon.
This is a YouTuber.
And Cathay. Upon their return,
Okay,
the
really
clan
good voice
immediately
acting.
pledged their allegiance to the Lords of Decay. It soon became obvious that the clan had used their time in the East well, as they were now the undisputed masters of secrecy, stealth, and assassination tactics, well beyond the skill or comprehension of the rest of the petty vermin. More than any other clan in Skaven society, Clan Eshin is shrouded in mystery, and little is known of their inner workings, and those who discover them suffer a swift death, vanish forever, or worse. They deal in secrets and death, and
Okay.
both do not come without extortionate costs.
Did an amazing job. You made on this dude. I'm not even close to done yet, but thank you. I mean, I hope you have
The
you
deadly
made me.
services of the clan are in order.
Martial art called
Any
a
who
rat
dare to
foo.
deal with
Okay,
treacherous
that's great.
assassins and
That's
stealth
iconic.
masters can buy secrets gained from espionage. They can buy the location of secret entrances and passages well hidden from the general public, know the identity of shadowy figures, steal precious cargo, and poison the water systems of cities and settlements, among a variety of other tasks and missions that can be accomplished thanks to their unmatched skills. Assassins can also infiltrate any place and silence any desired target.
Ooh.
Having some of the most devious and dangerous killers in the world, the clan has quickly risen to become one of the four major clans in all Skaven society. Only the most despicable, backstabbing, and cunning of ratmen will find themselves representing their clan at the circular table of the Council of 13. and Clan Eshen's own Night Lord Sneak sits at the table.
I assume that means
before the
13
Lord Rat's
clans.
proxy. Lord Sneak is arguably one of the most powerful representatives of the dreaded council, as he employs assassination and sabotage tactics against any foe that dares to interfere with his own plans and agenda. With the Night Lord Sneak being one of the representatives, the clan's political reach has grown so strong, they have the power to call any before the council a traitor, with no need for any evidence but their word.
That's whack.
Not only do they have this power, they have the strength to enforce the council's edict, cowing and corralling the minor clans into line, while maintaining the authority and influence of the great clans such as their own. It is well known that Clan Eshen is the hidden knife in the paws of the Council of 13. Whether the Lords of Decay have something over the shadowy clan, or have merely provided the best bribe, Clan Eshen provides the unseen force with which the Council maintains their reign.
There we go.
The constant removal of political and key opponents within the Under Empire and beyond has its drawbacks, and often delays greater plans.
They have Shuriken. Oh my god, that's so great.
A rolling
Iconic.
Of 10,000
Iconic,
names marked for
indeed.
swift death. On this secret list are the world's leaders, be they man, elf, dwarf, and many other characters of renown. Despite complex schemes to undermine the powers of the world, most resources are instead used to silence internal opposition, quell the overambitious, and maintain the positions of the council.
I don't want to do anything to his spiky. Oh, well, he's got like a little dot here. I'll just give him a little bit of
The assassins of Clan Eshen are so
copper
impressive
right
in their
here.
abilities and performance, it is supposed by
There we
some
go.
that they have supernatural powers
Set up, up.
that allow them to move faster than a galloping horse, climb smooth surfaces, and disguise themselves in shadow as though they were clothed in it. However, these skills are the result of the clan's many centuries abroad, in the lands to the east.
Oh, the
training
arms,
and
the
honing
arms. I still have to
skills
do the
gathered
arms.
from Nippon, Ind, and Cathay, as well as developing many styles and techniques of their own. The well-trained assassins of Clan Eshen are always clad in black, using masks or cowls, rarely showing their faces. They excel in keeping themselves out of sight. These foul assassins show extreme proficiency in sneaking into every fortress. They hide in every shadow,
There we go. Nice.
working silently in the darkness. They dispense death with brutal and uncanny accuracy, before disappearing once more into the shadows, leaving their foe lifeless and not knowing what hit them.
Dum, 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 dum.
Nothing was expected, and so the men were at ease. Sentries had been posted, but they too were weary from the road. We'd taken off our armor, set our weapons to the side. A pair of bruisers from Altdorf were throwing dice and telling bawdy jokes. Little did we realize that in mere moments, half our number would be dead, and the other half would be running for their lives.
Although all the assassins of the clan are menacing killers who are cloaked in shadow,
I keep like
there is one
taking
above
weird
even
breaths
their renowned
because
prowess. Deathmaster Snitch, primary agent of Lord Sneak, is the most infamous and prolific.
Can you
of
see Japan in
Clan Eshen's
Warhammer?
assassins.
It's just called the Japanese word
The
for
mere
Japan.
thought
Is
of this
it?
cunning killer, let alone speaking the name aloud, is enough to make any warlord or lowly rat squint into the shadows, lest he be there. A true master of murder, Snitch is shrouded in mystery and legend. No one knows the true location of the Deathmaster in any given moment, except perhaps for the Grand Knight Lord Sneak himself, as he is the only
I
one
swear every
Deathmaster
time I
answers
open
to.
your stream the sub anniversary gets longer lol.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the sub. Oh my gosh, that made wow. Nippon is technically the real name of Japan. Yeah, it is the real name of Japan. Or isn't it? No, Nihon is the language, I think. Nippon is the thank you so much, Ember, for the love. Thank you so much. How's it going? What's up? I really appreciate the support. Oh my gosh. I almost shit my pants, I swear. Thank you, though. Nihon or Nihongo, yeah. That's what it was. Let's continue the video and let's continue painting. Thank you again. Oh my gosh. Oh my god, thank you.
With such a famed reputation, it didn't take long for Night Lord Sneak to begin using this to his own and the Council's advantage. Those who refuse to follow the Council's orders or dare to cross Clan Eshin in any way can expect to be greeted by Clan Eshin's chief assassin at any time. Once marked by the assassin, no place or time is safe. Brutally efficient and absolutely without mercy, Snitch makes quick work of those he is dispatched to remove with his weeping blades, even carrying one with his whip-like tail, and only ever leaves the right clues in his wake. He wears a mysterious cloak of shadows, woven from stolen human hair and spider silk. The cloak effectively conceals and silences the wearer, although it is not just the passages and gutters of the underway that are haunted and horrified by the brutal actions and mark of the Deathmaster. The surface, too, has been subjected to the vile assassin's works. Beyond his formidable skills in the art of murder, Snitch is also responsible for many of the most reviled.
I just got back, Cabo. Don't shiz yourself too late. I already shizzed my pants. My pants are shitted.
Slay, kill, poison man-things, point ears, and dwarf thing alike.
Some of his most
that
famous
Skaven voice was
good.
good.
Of the celestial wizard Heinrich Frischen, who was found flayed within his still-locked observatory, leaving the guards puzzled. This act prompted some to lay the blame at the feet of demons, those disgusting manifestations of the warp. But there were those clever enough to note that demons seldom leave so few clues. The skilled assassin is also the main suspect
just do
in
another
many
coat
other
of that,
crimes
because that's
and
a
acts of
little bit
subterfuge,
light. We
including
do have to wait for it to dry.
Reichsport, the Great Fire of Lothern, and the destruction of the dwarf engineer Thornick Thornson's iron cog.
Thornick Thorns of Thorns of
the Battle
Thorns.
of Bitter Peaks.
My name's Thornick Thorn.
King Belagar's own brother, the dwarf Lord Dromgar, who lost his head against the swift blades of the Deathmaster. When Snitch leaves clues, they are intentional and clear enough. Warlord Scott of Merkpit had his neatly removed head stacked atop the 100 heads from his Storm Vermin bodyguard.
That is more of a message than a clue, I'd say.
These are but some of the devious acts that Snitch has worked upon the world. Although it is surely his most practiced and potent work, it is not only striking from the shadows that Snitch excels at. For when the Skaven decide to use this devastating weapon on the enemy, Snitch emerges seemingly from nowhere at will, in a blur of steel and daggers. Many
Dagger, I hardly know her.
Seen that whirlwind of blades before their eyes were darkened.
It's all about leaving a message, yeah.
Perhaps there are none who truly know how many of the greatest tragedies were carried out by the hands of the Deathmaster.
The videos definitely do give me like the spooks.
Where Snitch might be. His location is an absolute mystery, once again suiting Sneak in the Council's designs, for as long as none know where the Deathmaster might be, none can count themselves safe.
Okay, almost done with this Balthazar gold color. We are just highlighting these. I have to get some more paint on there.
The clan does not only rely on sabotaging missions and tactics to break havoc on the enemy. They make for a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield, and many foes have fallen against the deadly tactics employed by these skilled Skaven. Among the troops of Clan Eshin, the most common warriors are the Night Runners. Despite being considered common troopers, they are still secretive and highly skilled. The Night Runners travel either in small furtive units to seize key terrain from the enemy, or they also move in larger blocks, scurrying ahead of the Skaven lines to slow down their enemies. Their weapons of choice are blades in each hand, although it has been seen that they can employ slings to rain death on war machines or lightly protected units.
I want to see if
units of Night
hard to
Runners are
see with
given
the
a warp
shadow.
grinder tunneling team to burrow beneath the ground and emerge upon the enemy's flank.
Do
or
I need to
rear
keep
to
that
wreak havoc amongst their
gold,
ranks.
or hard to see on the box? Kill deathman things.
Their fast strikes
This is so hard to
are
do a
done
Skaven
weaken the
voice.
foe before the main attack and prepare the path for the rest of the horde to come. There tend to be high casualties in their ranks, for their fight is always deep in the enemy territory. This is something the Clan Nation masters already know.
Ooh, what I could do is I could just like dry brush these and make them look kind of like this is really cool. Or I could just make them
Those
lead
Night Runners
belcher.
that survive and excel on the battlefield are chosen to learn yet more of the arts of the clan and become gutter runners. Units of gutter runners are highly skilled in the mysterious fighting style developed and learned in the Far East by the clan. They do not wear any armor, for they simply dodge any incoming attack from their foes. Arson attacks, night raids, and contaminated water supplies are all favorite tactics, often employed by these stealth troops. They use a variety of weapons and poisons to accomplish their tasks, and they are chosen to carry some of the most dangerous missions for the clan. Some of them even
Huzzah! My Gracier Primer can
Under
and
the
box
orders
of
of the
Blakeguard
dreaded
veterans is
Council
set to
of
arrive
13,
tomorrow.
They have
Yes!
traveled across the globe, stealing and
I love
destroying
that
the
feeling.
recorded history of Skaven attacks from the
Like,
great
ooh, I'm
libraries
getting my
of the
shit
Empire.
soon. That feeling.
Searched for ways to penetrate
Nice.
the Emerald Gates of Ulthuan, and located the descendants of the von Karstein vampires.
Get some lead belcher on here.
An unprecedented amount of secret knowledge flows every day into Skaven Blight, as the Council seeks to forever stay one step ahead of their many foes. Only the most promising of gutter runners
looks
are
okay.
given the chance to prove themselves as worthy assassins of Clan Eshin.
Whoa.
Deadly warriors that are almost invisible, and their very shadow is said to be poisonous. The final tests for the pinnacle of Clan Eshin's warriors are death missions, assigned by the ruling council of the clan, presided by Night Lord Sneak. After surviving such missions, the assassin is considered
there we go.
an acknowledged master in the methodology of murder.
Moida. It's called Moida. Okay, let's see. Where should we start with this? Let's start with this little
In the
pipe
summer
up
of
here.
1115 of the imperial calendar, after Emperor Boris Goldgather fell to the sickness of the Black Plague, unleashed by the Skaven, the empire of man stood on the brink of ruin and collapse. It was then that the Council of 13 decided to launch a proper land attack and destroy the hated man-things. While in disarray, the Empire struggled to retaliate against the overwhelming nightmare that was the Skaven fighting force. But there was one noble who would not be crushed without a fight. Mandred von Zelt, later known as Mandred Skaven Slayer or Rat Slayer, rallied against the hordes of Ratmen and led his men to many glorious victories. At the height of the Battle of the Howling Hills, Mandred raised his ruined fang and struck the head of Warlord Vermic, a prominent member of the Council of 13 at the time, fashioning the horned skull into a disgusting hell that resides in the Imperial vaults to this day. With the forces of the Skaven scattered, Mandred was ascended to the Imperial throne with a majority vote. Alas, no great deed goes unpunished. The Skaven clans, though bloodied, were now enraged and in disarray.
Make it cool.
But they dispatched one of the Clan Eshin's renowned assassins to enact their vengeance. In 1152,
the
I see,
chainmail.
the Emperor Mandred Ratslayer was slain by Nartik of Clan Eshin by order of the Council of 13. False evidence of a mutant apparition was left before the shadowy assassin escaped into the sewers. In the wake of his death, the Electoral
Just
Council was
angry
halted by
noises.
stalemate. leading to a series of civil wars while no emperor was elected for several years. To this day, scholars and lore masters failed to connect the Black Plague, the Skaven incursion, and the murder of the emperor. Over time, Skaven were dismissed as a threat to the empire, and within centuries, what was known about the Ratmen became so enshrouded in myth that many men now refuse to believe in their existence at all.
There we go. Ooh, the voice. Nash, nash. Ooh, let's do this thing.
And just in time, Long-Limb Nofur tries to scurry escape on his big black paddle boat back to Drooky Home Nest.
I need only to get back to Nagaroth with this.
I need only to get that done. He sounds like such an asshole.
I will end.
Bye bye, Wizard. Thank you so much for chilling. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening. Please take care. Be safe.
The vermin as menace cannot be allowed to follow me back to the land of chill. The elusive Death Master is nearby. Let him come.
Let him come.
Kane's cup, I will cut him down, along with the rest of the
Okay, let's see this. Nice. Look at that. That's looking. It's hard to see because the camera's so shit, but still, I like to think I'm doing nice. I'll post a picture of it later on Twitter and in the Discord server. I might actually finish this dude today. Like, I might even finish him. Yo, Hazy in the chat. Can we please get a shout out for Hazenev? Awesome, Lich VTuber. What's up, BB? How's it going? She's an amazing artist, fantastic animator. Please go check out her Twitch and her YouTube. She's fantastic. You might actually recognize some of her animations. She's pretty cool, if I do say so. Thank you so much for gifting subs to Hazy. Thank you so much, AJ, for the gift subs to Hazy. Holy guacamole. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Ow! And thank you to Hydra. Thank you so much, Hydra. Can we get a shout out for Hydra real quick? For the raid, welcome Raiders. I'm Cabo. I'm in a hand cam stream. We're painting some Warhammer minis and watching some lore videos and some cool stuff. I hope you're doing good today. What's up? What were you up to, Raiders? If you got a raid and run, all good in the hood. I can take care of your homies. That's no problemo. She is stuck for 6 more months. New introduction? What's this? Hey, what is that? That's so strange. But Hydra, thank you so much for the raid. How's it going? And what were you doing? New introduction. That's a new thing. I've never seen that before. We're watching an anime and then played Mirror's Edge. Yo, Mirror's Edge is so cool. I played that when I was a kid. I loved it. I loved it so much. What anime were you watching? I hope you guys had a great time. Like I said, if you gotta go raid and run or do anything, all good in the hood. We're just gonna keep on watching some things and painting. Wait, have we seriously been watching this for an hour and a half? Wait, are you telling me we've been watching this video for an hour and a half? you've watched this like a movie? Wait, seriously, have I been that logged in? Have I been that logged in? No, you skipped most of it. No, I don't think I skipped any. Did I? I don't remember skipping. I think you misclicked. Yeah, I must have misclicked because there are some things that I definitely... I'm like, wait a second, huh? An anime adapted from one of my favorite games, Nocia. I don't know what that is, but I hope you had an amazing stream. But yeah, welcome, readers. We're just doing some painting, and then we're gonna probably switch to Silent Hill later. Oof. We're still in Clan Eshin. We were still in Clan Eshin, and then I clicked something. I didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that I clicked something, you guys. Where were we?
After surviving such missions, the assassin is considered an acknowledged master in the methodology.
I don't think I was here
carried
yet.
out by the hands of the Death Master. Although it is not just the passages and true master of murder, Snitch is shrouded in mystery.
Is this
and legend.
the?
No one knows the true location of the Death
Yeah,
Master.
here we were around here, right? We were around Snitch, dude.
Perhaps for
Yeah.
the Grand Night Lord
Think
Snitch
so.
himself, as he
Did we
is
get
the
a
only
shout
one
out
the Death Master answers to.
for Hydra though? I don't think we did. I'm having a hard time because my
With such a famed reputation, it didn't take long for Night Lord Sneak to begin using this to his own and the Council's advantage. Those who refuse to follow the Council's orders or dare to cross Clan Eshin
Everyone
in
check
any
out
way
Hydra,
can
please. Thank you
expect
so
to be
much.
greeted by Clan Eshin's
Did the
chief
shout out right?
assassin
It's not
at any
appearing
time.
on my thing. That
Once
is so
marked by the
weird.
assassin, no place
It's not
time is
appearing on
safe.
the activity feed. Strange.
Brutally efficient
But
and
anyways, thank you.
absolutely
Oh,
without mercy.
can we give
Snitch
Hazeneb
makes
a
quick
casual
work
shout out
of
as
those
well?
dispatched to remove
Hazy's an
with
awesome
his
streamer
weeping
too. You
blade,
guys should totally
even
check her out. Like I
carrying one with his
said,
whip-like tail,
does
and
some
only ever
awesome
leaves the right clues in
animations.
his wake. He wears a mysterious
Happy
cloak of
affiliate
shadows
anniversary! Thank
woven
you,
from
thank
stolen
you.
human hair and spider silk. The cloak effectively conceals and silences the wearer. Although it is not just the passages and gutters of the underway that are haunted and horrified by the brutal actions and mark of the Death Master. The surface too has been subjected to the vile assassin's works. Beyond his formidable skills in the art of murder, Snitch is also responsible for many of the most reviled and despicable acts of sabotage to befall the mighty races of the surface world.
Slay kill, poison man things, point ears and dwarf thing alike.
Some of his most famous stories include the assassination of the celestial wizard Heinrich Frischen, who was found flayed within his still-locked observatory, leaving the guards puzzled. This act prompted some to lay the blame at the feet of demons, those disgusting manifestations of the warp. But there were those clever enough to note that demons seldom leave so few clues. The skilled assassin
Road Trader's
is
part of a
also the
humble
main
bundle right
suspect
now.
of many
Ooh,
other
okay,
crimes and
nice.
acts of subterfuge.
We watched this part.
including the
Yeah, we were
bombing
right
of the
around
Imperial
here, I
Navy,
believe.
Reichsport, the Great Fire of Lothar, and the destruction of the dwarf engineer Thornick Thornson's iron cog.
Oh yeah, because I made fun of the name
the Battle of
Thornick
Bitter Peaks.
Thornsons.
Snitch is also likely to be the killer of King Belagar's own brother, the dwarf Lord Dromgar, who lost his head against the swift blades of the Death Master. When Snitch leaves clues, they are intentional and clear enough.
Yeah, here we go.
Warlord Scott of Merkpit had his neatly removed heads stacked atop. Snitch has worked upon the world. Although it is surely his most practiced and potent work, it is not only striking from the shadows that Snitch excels at. For when the Skaven decide to use this devastating weapon on the enemy, Snitch emerges seemingly from nowhere
Happy
at will,
affiliate anniversary!
in a
Thank
blur
you!
of steel and
I don't even know how many years I've been an affiliate at this point. I think it's
unfortunate
4.
lord has seen that
I think it's 4
whirlwind
years I've been
blaze
affiliate.
before their eyes were darkened forever.
Because my first year streaming
Perhaps
was
there
on
are none who truly
YouTube.
know how many of the greatest tragedies were carried out by the hands of the Death Master. Despite his infamy, none know where Snitch might be. His location is an absolute mystery. once again suiting
Ooh.
Sneak in the Council's designs, for as long as none know where the Deathmaster might be, none can count themselves safe.
Dun 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 dun. Spooky. So like the Dark Brotherhood of rats, pretty much. I dig it. I dig it. The handles. Do the handles, those should be copper.
The clan does not only rely on sabotaging missions and tactics to break havoc on the enemy. They make for a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield, and many foes have fallen against the deadly tactics employed by these skilled Skaven. Among the troops of Clan Eshin, the most common warriors are the Night Runners. Despite being considered common troopers,
we saw this a little
their
bit.
weapons of choice are rain deaths are given a weak flank or rear. Weaken the foe before the main to be. This
Whoa!
is something Clan Eshin masters already know.
I miss when boxes used to have paints listed. Yeah, they don't actually. I kind of had to wing it. I got 4 though. I got Deathguard Green, Balthazar Gold, Let Belcher, and Magus, Magus, Maggots,
Those
whatever,
Night
purple.
That survive and excel on the battlefield are
These
chosen
kind
to
of
learn
ones
yet
I
more of the
thought
arts of
would
the
work.
clan and become gutter runners. Units of gutter runners are highly skilled in the mysterious fighting style developed and learned in the Far East by the clan. They do not wear any armor, for they simply dodge any incoming attack from their foes. Arson attacks, night raids, and contaminated water supplies are all favorite tactics, often employed by these stealth troops. They use a variety of weapons and poisons to accomplish their tasks, and they are chosen to carry some of the most dangerous missions for the clan, some of them even labeled as suicidal.
Let's make
Under the orders of the dreaded
gold
Council
too.
of
We'll
13,
do that gold.
they have traveled across the globe, stealing and destroying the recorded history of Skaven attacks
I like the swords for
from
this
the great
dude.
libraries of the Empire. Searched for ways to penetrate the Emerald Gates of Ulthuan, and located the descendants of the von Karstein vampires.
Von Karstein vampires.
An unprecedented amount of secret
I love
knowledge flows every
vampires.
day
So to
in
know
Skaven
vampires are in
lives.
Warhammer are
As the
fucking
Council seeks to forever stay one step ahead
I
of
was
the
a
many
Twilight
foes.
bitch. Alright, okay, yeah.
Only the most
So what?
promising of gutter
I like
runners
Twilight, so
given
what?
the chance to prove themselves as worthy assassins of Clan Eshin. Deadly warriors that are almost invisible, and their very shadow is said to be poisonous. The final tests for the pinnacle of Clan Eshin's warriors are death missions, assigned by the ruling council
Okay,
of
we
the
just gotta do
clan,
this.
presided by Night
And
Lord Sneak.
then
After surviving such missions, the assassin is considered an acknowledged master in the methodology of murder.
Okay.
The summer of 1115 of the imperial calendar, after Emperor Boris Goldgather fell to the sickness of the Black Plague, unleashed by the Skaven, the empire of man stood on the brink of ruin and collapse. It was then that the Council of 13 decided to launch a proper land attack and destroy the hated man-things. While in disarray, the Empire struggled to retaliate against the overwhelming nightmare that was the Skaven fighting force. But there was one noble who would not be crushed without a fight. Mandred von Zelt, later known as Mandred Skaven Slayer or Rat Slayer, rallied against the hordes of Ratmen and led his men to many glorious victories. At the height of the Battle of the Howling Hills, Mandred raised his ruined fang and struck the head of Warlord Vermic, a prominent member of the Council of 13 at the time, fashioning the horned skull into a disgusting helm that resides in the Imperial vaults to this day.
Badass.
With the forces of the Skaven scattered, Mandred was ascended to the Imperial
Even though
throne
that,
with
you
the
know,
majority
it
votes.
is Skaven, well, like,
Alas,
badass!
no great deed goes unpunished. The Skaven clans, though bloodied, were now enraged and in disarray.
They
But
were
they dispatched one of the Clan
angry.
Eshin's renowned assassins to enact their vengeance. In 1152 IC, the Emperor Mandred Ratslayer was slain by Nartik of Clan Eshin, by order of the Council of 13. False evidence of a mutant apparition was left before the shadowy assassin escaped into the sewers. In the wake of his death, the Electoral Council was halted by stalemate, leading to a series of civil wars while no emperor was elected for several years. To this day, scholars and lore masters fail to connect the Black Plague, the Skaven incursion, and the murder of the Emperor. Over time, Skaven were dismissed as a threat to the Empire, and within centuries, what was known about the Ratmen became so enshrouded in myth that many men now refuse to believe in their existence at all.
How do you refuse to believe in the existence when you actually have the evidence, like in your vaults and shit?
Drooky elf thing has what I came for. And just
Ooh,
in
I forgot
the
to
meantime,
paint this
Long-limbed
dude.
Nofer tries to scurry escape on his big black paddle boat back to Drooky home nest.
Ooh, he's got like a hole in his head though, which is pretty cool. Make that like his brains. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I need only to get back to Nagaroth with this Black Ox
And-
cargo of
and-
scrolls. But
me.
first, I will end this here and now.
We're gonna finish with Clan Eshin, and then we're gonna check out another video. Because I would like to look at a few others as well. Ooh, I forgot to do his gauntlet. I'll have to do that right now. Not a gauntlet, it's like a thing. I don't know what thing. You're gonna toss me while I'm painting? Really? Really, homie's gonna toss me while I'm painting?
The verminous menace cannot be allowed to follow me back to the land of chill. The elusive Death Master is nearby. Let him come. Should he get close, by Cain's cup, I will cut him down, along with the rest of his pathetic brood.
Yo, it's looking pretty okay. Pretty okay. I'll just make their fists that gold color too. That'll look kind of nice with that golden handle. What color should I be dry brushing these little dudes? I don't know. I was thinking. I don't know. Something lighter. Such intense painting music. I want to watch some of the other dude, that chill guy. I like his videos a lot. I want to something like lime green. I could make something like that with the Death Guard green. I guess I can make something. Yeah, you know, I'll make like a lighter Death Guard green. That's a good idea. I like that. Yeah. Thank you.
No, nothing shall stop me. Weeping blades will make quick work of him. Time to cut, and stab.
Okay, let's do this one. Let's get all of this funkies golden.
As with all Skaven clans, Clan Eshin is cunningly deceitful and self-serving, with their base Skaven characteristics combined with their extreme proficiency in the arts of sabotage.
They just sound like OP.
The powerful Clan Eshin and its shadow-cloaked assassin heroes, spearheaded by the infamous and prolific Deathmaster Sniksh, are a horrifying and disturbing threat to all those on the surface. The children of the Horned Rat are a monstrous force, not to be taken lightly by any of those who dwell beneath the open sky and bask in the warmth of the sun.
Dum 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 dum. Yee! He's coming across. He's coming along. Really nice so far. I like how he's coming. What else? What else?
Clan
What
Scryer
else?
is one of the 4 greater clans of the Under Empire, alongside
I do want to
Clan
make this
Molder,
little gold.
Clan Pestilence, and Clan Eshin. And their Lord Warlock Morskatar sits on the 12th seat at the table of the Council of 13.
Sounds like it's
before
at the whole
Horned
skull. I
Rat's
can't even
proxy.
tell.
Through their service to the Council, by supplying twisted machinery, Clan Scryer cements its position of power. They are not necessarily the only clan to produce
There we
machines
go.
that darken the battlefields and tunnels of the underworld.
There
Clan
we go.
Pestilence, for example, build their great plague furnaces to spread disease and horror onto the enemy. The Clan Scryer has the upper hand in skill and production speed above any others. Their influence is matched only by their wealth, as they are fond of lending
Let's
their deadly
see.
weapons for exorbitant.
Okay, so let's try. We did this one. We did this one. Let's do. Bum ba bum bum bum. Noob's Guide to Queek Head Taker. What's this? This is someone else. This is a different person, actually.
Welcome to a Noob's Guide to Queek Head Taker.
What is this?
Is Queek, the brave but exceedingly dangerous warlord of Clan Moors, whose bloodlust and egomaniacal tendencies have made him 1/3 owner of the timeshare that is Carrick 8 Peaks. Queek is a short-fused, furry red rocket, primed to explode on anybody.
I love that
the wrong
cheerful
way.
music.
He's also a power-hungry narcissist with no unique game mechanics in Total War, but who needs them when you're a walking NutriBullet. Queek Headtaker is another lord with a book written about him, so it's impossible to fit all his random lore into a 10-minute video, of which 8 minutes is genitalia references. You may remember Queek from my previous videos as the up-and-coming power bottom of the Carrick 8 Peaks manwich. When he's not finding new and exciting ways to backdoor Skarsnik, Queek takes great delight in seeking out the most powerful foes on the battlefield, urinating on their corpses to confirm his dominance and undoubtedly T-posing over them afterwards.
Nice.
Because Queek has spent a lifetime redecorating the tunnels, lairs, and abandoned dwarf holds with the awful that is blood, body parts, and papasan chairs. He's earned so many grudges, the dwarves
wait, what
have
is that? That's
renamed
supposed to
the
be
space
lead
between their
belcher.
bits and their bungholes a Queek, just to save time. Belladar Ironhammer in particular wants to make flea-infested underwear out of Queek's backside, since the Headtaker was the first to invoke squatters' rights on Carrick 8 Peaks and beat the Hobo Dwarf King to Big Rock Candy Mountain, renaming it as the City of Pillars. It's not surprising then to find Queek gets extra melee attack and weapon damage when fighting dwarfs and greenskins in-game, having found the perfect Skaven fighting style of swinging his arms around as fast as possible like a demented windmill that can also bite you. Because Queek didn't get the name Headtaker by hanging out in truck stop bathrooms. And since nothing terrifies your enemies like wearing someone else's head, our rodent Buffalo Bill here has more skulls on him than a Hot Topic employee, and sleeps on a pile of heads so high it requires 2 Sherpas and a mountain goat just to reach the top. Concerningly, Queek has also been seen whispering to them, which is made worse by reports that the heads seem to talk back. After the fall of a night goblin lair near Carrick Draj, one of Queek's heads whispered directions to the legendary weapon Dwarf Gouger, a unique in-game item ideal for punching through plate and finding the creamy nougat center of any dwarf in Queek's path. Queek keeps this disembodied council around at all times by walking around with a rack that would make Dolly Parton blush. The stars of this itty-bitty cranial committee are Dwarf King Krug Ironhand, Orc Boss Morglum Blacktooth, the entire body of Skaven Warlord Sleek Sharpwit, and the hands of Baron Albrecht Kraus of Averland. And I know you're thinking, what awesome mechanic did this spawn in the Total War games? But it didn't, it's a button. Now you get a debuff against any lords that Queek fights. The headhunter mechanic you expect for it, defeat someone and you get buffs for doing so, is already built into the base
And then we
game.
can do some
As
dry
in Warhammer
brushing.
2, every time you defeat
PPs
a
on
legendary
dead people,
lord, no
nice.
matter
Well,
who
it
you defeat,
is.
you eat their soul and claim a new power-up like a depraved Mega Man, which is nothing new for Queek. His entire life has been spent in pursuit of power.
Let's open this
When he was
baby.
born, Queek ate the rest of his litter before ever even opening his beady
Oh, this
red
is a
eyes.
contrast
Lord
paint.
Nodwell,
Oh,
the head of
God.
Clan
I've never
Moors,
worked with
saw in
contrast
Queek
paints
the traits
before.
that could make a Skaven father proud. Handsome, radish looks, a stratospheric ego, and the propensity for
Okay,
murdering
well.
anyone in their way. The Caitlyn Jenner trifecta. Nodwell adopted Queek straight away, spoiling him with scraps of dwarf mutton, never-ending compliments, personalized contracts on his life, and the best warp shard-infused rat armor money could steal. Leaving Queek with such a bad case of affluenza, he's willing to invoke the name of the Great Horned Rat and even spout blasphemy in front of Greyseers. Unwilling to ever come in second place, Queek now often claims the victories
almost
of
like a
other
wash.
Skaven are his own as well, leading to him leeching the experience of other Skaven generals in-game. And if they dare to talk back, Papa Nodwell uses his influence to get them transferred to the Northern Waste, which goes a long way to explain the psychosis that soon manifested
like a mix of
in
wash
Queek's
and paint.
already
Oh,
malignant
okay,
brain. Queek began feeling a tingling sense of loyalty to Lord Nodwell, which in Skaven society makes him
That will
nuttier
actually
than a
work
Japanese
nicely for
bukkake
this, though.
festival. I mean, close your eyes and picture the typical Skaven.
Did he just say
They have
bukkake
no
festival?
concept of honor, no shred of empathy. Your eyes in society makes him nuttier than a Japanese bukkake festival. I mean,
God
close your eyes and picture
damn.
the typical Skaven. They have no concept of honor, no shred of empathy, no idea of courage, no ability for self-reflection, shame, or responsibility, and anything that goes wrong is always someone else's fault. As a race, they're defined by unrestricted consumption that despoils everything around them, and anyone not at the top of society is exploited to further the 1%'s climb to power, which is such an apt
Do another
description for
layer
the
of
21st
that,
century. It's
but
terrifying.
that
And
works.
also, never close your eyes after someone says bukkake. What makes Clan Moors so unique in Skavendom is that they all have a twisted sense of loyalty, from the lowest Skaven slave to Queek himself. Normally, defeated Skaven armies are wiped out to the last clan rat, but if a unit surrenders straight away to Clan Moors, they're incorporated. Lord Nodwell even promotes those who show promise and seem trustworthy. I mean, relatively trustworthy. Betrayal and backstabbing are still ubiquitous. But if the murder of a superior actively hinders the success of a Clan Moors operation, it's considered treason. This unity of purpose has moved Clan Moors and Lord Nodwell ever closer to the head of the Council of 13, and has left the other Skaven Lords of Decay with splitting migraines trying to fathom this new concept. In-game, this loyalty is reflected in the Headtaker's unique bonuses, and his real strength lies in the loyalty and training of other Skaven frontline units. Clan Rats and Storm Vermin both have their upkeep halved, while Queek also
Okay, there
gets
we
2
go.
extra
Slowly,
uses of the
it's just
menace
such a
below to drown his
washed.
enemies in smelly vermin
So
ball
strange.
sacks.
They
Thanks
don't
to
need water.
skills
Yeah,
like
I'm going
Life is
straight
very
from
cheap,
the
these
bottle.
same
No way
trash
this needs
tier
any
units
water.
start at higher levels with more armor and even replenish, so you can think like a true Skaven warlord and throw so many bodies at your enemies that would make even a Soviet general squeamish. And this overriding sense of solidarity even
Yes.
applies to the generic warlords of Clan Moors, which, thanks to the skill-make
I'm trying
examples,
to make
are
this
recruited
kind of
with
like a
2 extra
magenta-y,
loyalty, while
or just
Queek
not
inspires the
copper.
rats around him to even greater feats and creates fear in his enemies, which of course makes the Greyseers despise him even more, because if there's one thing Greyseers hate, it's annoying, pompous, arrogant pricks. That's
It
their
goes
department.
wash
The
and
best
then
of the
dry
best of
brush, right?
Skavendom, though, Queek brings into his own personal Crimson
Cabo,
Guard,
what?
an elite storm vermin
F.
unit
Wait,
filled
what'd
with
I
the
do?
strongest, fiercest, and most ruthless rats of Clan Moors.
Wait, did I do
He
something
keeps
wrong?
10 claws of these troops, each 100 strong, as his personal
Also,
honor
it's gonna work
guard,
better when you
ready
have
to
a brighter
plumb the
color.
depths of the enemy's cloaca. You might expect them to
Yeah,
show up
the
in-game
copper
as a
paint,
Skaven regiment of renown, for
But
now,
I
there are
actually
featured
like what it's
items,
doing
so
with this
instead,
copper
you can
paint
make an entire army of
because
elite vermin
it's
immortals.
not
This guard
getting
is so loyal to
it's
Queek,
still
your
that
captain even once took a dagger from
metallic-y,
him, an act of selflessness
but
so
it's just a little bit more maroon, which is actually what I was going for because the maroon on here. So I'm actually kind of happy with how this is turning out.
Get a hot date with their right hands on Friday nights.
No cop being
raises the
funny and
obvious
weird. Wait, what I
question,
do?
Where are all the Skaven women? To find the answer to lure this
I actually really like how
I
this
had
is
to
coming in
descend
with
into
this,
the wretched hive of scum and villainy that is 1D4chan. In the deepest depths of Skaven undercities, there are hidden breeding chambers filled with hundreds of bloated, indolent baby makers called brood mothers. A female rat typically births 6 litters a year, consisting of 12 rat pups, and these all hit puberty in about a month, meaning that a population of only
12
2
for
rats
each leader?
can swell to 1,250 in a single year. How tagging in on this overworked,
They are
slight-out
fucking, aren't they?
uterus
Jesus.
can be considered a reward is too terrifying to consider unless Clan Moors likes their women on their sloppy 387.
Oh, here it is. This
But
is
as
what I
all this
wanted.
comes from end times lore,
I
it can
wanted
thankfully be ignored. An official
the
miniature
tongue.
from Games Workshop depicting a Skaven female does actually exist, and it's exactly the sort of furry fetish clickbait you'd expect, only topped by this unofficial
Something
model
similar
from
when I
Reaper
painted dwarf
Miniatures.
armor.
Now there's a body
Red
only
metal
a
dwarf
psychotic
hammers.
murderer
Hell
should
yeah.
love. Speaking of whom, Queek has a Vortex campaign that starts him in the Southlands. But for the true Vermintide experience, you'll want the Mortal Empires campaign, where your goal is to fully claim Carrick 8 Peaks for the glory of Queek. The Skaven already control its lower depths, and you'll actually start with a hidden underburrow beneath the settlement. To take the mountain, point your armored anti-infantry, armor-piercing duelist in its general direction,
we
and
are
watch as
set
Queek
for
chews
our
through more
wash.
scenery than Burt Reynolds' mustache.
Shade,
And
then dry
unlike
brush.
other
The shade stays in the
foot-bound
recesses.
lords,
Yeah.
Queek doesn't get stuck in blobs of enemies, as his Verminous Valor skill is
think we are
specifically
set
designed to let him slip
for
free and restart his
our,
furry shenanigans elsewhere.
wash.
So raise an endless swarm of rat men to tar pit your enemies and send the pride of Skavendom to Predator Missile the enemy lord. Then collect their skulls like a different predator to
Just
proudly
get up and
display
get it.
on your trophy rack. Because the lord of the City of Pillars is coming home, and once Queek has redecorated those halls, he has some serious daddy issues to address. If you enjoyed this video, check out the 2 other lords in the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of Carrick 8 Peaks series, and you can look for a very special cinematic video on the Fight for the Mountain to release soon. Thanks for watching.
Nice. Good video. Good video. What are these friggin' suggestions? What's this? Oh, that's Giga. Yeah, I like Giga. Do or don't. Sisters of Battle. Ooh, that's interesting. I would like to learn more about the Sisters of Battle as well. Let's watch some, let's see, let me see. Black Templar, Sodas. Sodas. What is do or don't?
The Imperium is a
Let's see.
magic.
Oh, it's Pankrus,
I mean
dude.
that both figuratively and literally. It grabs the attention of everyone who looks into 40K, and as much as I am a card-carrying Eldar fan who complains about it hawking all the spotlight,
I'll probably
it is,
skip
at
the
least to some
tabletop
extent, a
parts,
deserved
but
position. Aside from being the human faction, and
yeah, I
it's
wanna.
the premier galactic superpower, falling apart at the seams at the best of times. You can find just about anything within.
Shade, then
If
dry
you can,
brush.
then it's
Yes.
absolutely reasonable to make up whatever
We're gonna
lore you
dry
want.
brush
Say it
with
takes
these
place
two.
in
We're
one of the
gonna
million
mix
worlds
these
the Imperium
together
controls.
to create a kind of
If there's a
lime
vibe that gets
green,
everyone's attention,
like
you can move on to other parts of the setting sooner or
AJ
later. For the life of
mentioned,
me,
and then
I can't remember the exact line or where I heard it the first time, but a good way to describe 40K is Catholic space crusaders fighting things
And
they
then-
don't understand and hate for it. That religious fervor that causes you to fight for the God Emperor.
Lighter primer for contrast paints. I don't know how people only paint with contrast paints. It's literally like a wash.
Even more so than the Space Marines, except for maybe the Black Templars. No one in the setting embodies this ideal more than the Sisters of Battle. These women rock up with their faith in the God Emperor and burn you alive for the sin of not worshipping him. So
Fuck
tell me,
yeah.
are you Catholic? Do you wish to see the heretics pay for their sins? Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord?
Oh wait, I forgot to do
Well then, perhaps the Sisters of Battle or the 40k
his
army
things. Oh, I forgot to do the
Before we start
teeth.
talking war games, how about I talk to you about something else? Food.
But I
Not just any food,
kinda.
though, but Factor.
No,
the
no,
sponsor
no,
of
no,
this
no.
video.
I should
It
do
can
that
be hard
really
to
quick.
balance your
Let's do
schedule
that real
throughout
quick.
the day. Work, family, friends. Life's a busy thing. With Factor, you can stay one step ahead of cooking while staying healthy the whole time.
I plan on using mostly contrast. Ooh, yeah, keep me updated. I'm curious.
People whose job it is to cook nothing but healthy and tasty food are setting these meals right for today. Now then,
There we
time to
go.
go to confession. The Sisters of Battle are, at least compared to the oldest of Imperial organizations, a fairly new addition to the Imperium of Man. True, the precursors to what they would become were kind of around even during the War of Heresy.
There we
with
go.
Euphrates Keeler banishing a demon with her faith in the Emperor, and of course countless different organizations devoted to worshipping the Emperor exist. But the Sisters of Battle themselves didn't show
There
up
you
until
go.
about halfway into the Imperium's history,
Who's this
beginning
baby?
in the 36th millennium during a slightly turbulent era known as the Age of Apostasy. Once upon a time, there was an all-female warrior cult known as the Daughters of the Emperor. They weren't the most well-traveled or well-known of folk, though they may have fought alongside Satan Sabat, but they'd been around for a little while doing warrior cult things. During this time,
Warrior
a fellow
cult
named
things.
Goj Van Dyer had essentially come to be the functional emperor of the Imperium. With the actual Big E stuck on a chair and for one reason or another either unable or unwilling to tell the Custodes to deal with him, he was able to become the head of the church and the administratum, aka the bureaucracy of the Imperium. Not the most interesting sounding position in a war game setting, I'll admit, but since they're the ones who decide if your bullets make it on time or not, it gave them functionally unlimited power over the Imperium. Anyone who might have argued with them simply did not receive food this month, in addition to him declaring you were a heretical enemy of the state and throwing a crusade at you. His spies eventually found this warrior
real
cult and
asshole.
decided they seemed pretty interesting, so he went to their home planet to see if he couldn't turn them into his own private army. Initially, they told him to go away, presumably because he was creepily hitting on them the entire time, but canon never explicitly confirms this. Never denies it either, though, when
What?
no one likes Goj, so
I
we
almost
assume
fucked
that
up
happened.
that.
Since
Oh,
the
like,
Daughters
I
of the
almost fucked
Emperor
that
were
up.
from the most technologically advanced of planets, however, he had a plan to trick them by telling his aide to shoot him in the face. Secretly, he just had a shield generator that made a gold-colored shield flare up around him to keep him safe. But from the daughter's point of view, that could quite literally only have been an act of the Emperor himself, keeping the guy safe.
If they,
Cut case of divine providence, the daughters did a 180 on their opinion of Goj and almost immediately swore loyalty to him, becoming the private army he wanted. They were renamed to the Brides of the Emperor, brought to Terra, and given the best weapons, armor, and training possible, short of Custodes equipment. Probably a whole lot of other less savory things occurred as well, because Goj Van Dyer was a bad person, even by the standards of 40k. Jumping forward a little bit, Van Dyer's reign of terror had been going on for decades. The ecclesiarchy had much of its power and influence redirected to whatever good old Goj wanted, corruption was rampant, blatant murder disguised as executing heretics was rampant. He really was an asshole, and eventually people...
He really was an
Notably,
asshole.
one humble preacher named Sebastian Thor was included in this number, who eventually was able to rally people around himself, potentially including the Emperor himself, since a warp storm just so happened to obliterate a fleet Van Dyer sent to kill him. With rebellion erupting more and more, and even the Space Marine chapters and Mechanicus beginning to defy him, if not outright call for his head, Goj began turning the ecclesiarchal palace portion of Terra into a fortress, with the Brides of the Emperor manning the walls. In one corner, we have about 10,000 of the Brides of the Emperor defending. In the other corner, we have the Space Marines, the Mechanicus, and presumably a whole lot of other
It's
people
like his
alongside
jaw
them, as well
is
as Thor trying
right
to push in
down
and get Goj out.
here.
The daughters held the line against this onslaught without fault, pushing back everyone from normal human to Astartes super soldier to keep Goj safe. You know someone's hardcore when they force Space Marines to back off, and eventually everyone realized this, and the attackers phoned up the Adeptus Custodes to help him out. The Captain General of the Custodes went to the leader of the Brides, one Alicia Dominica, and tried to convince her that she was on the wrong side of things. She absolutely refused him, because while the Captain General may be second to the Emperor, he still isn't the Emperor, and that's the only authority they recognized. To convince her, he didn't pull that shield generator.
He has the most evil name of all time. Why did he trust him? Exactly.
He took Alicia, 5 of her closest companions, and marched them right up to Big E on the chair himself. After an unknown amount of time, they came back out, walked right up to Goj Van Dyer, and killed him on the spot. In the aftermath, there was of course some religious reformation, actions put into place to make sure no one could hold that much power again, all that boring
Happy
political
affiliate
stuff.
anniversary. Thank you. Thank you, Shadow. I appreciate it.
For all that they were fighting on Goj's side, it was pretty clear that was out of devotion to the Emperor, not Goj. The moment they got proof he sucked, they put him in the ground. around. That's clear dedication to the Emperor, not any one corrupt asshole or other leading the Imperium. Plus, they put up
Let's
a hell
make
of a
his
fight, and that was a
teepees
lot
look
of talent
dirty.
to
Oh
waste.
yeah,
So a
perfect. That
compromise
makes
was
it look.
made.
That Earthshade
The
Agrax
Ecclesiarchy
does a
can no longer
great
ever again
job
have men at arms,
making
but
it look
these are not men.
dirty.
These are women. There's a whole ass extra syllable added to that word. It's totally different. Also, believe it or not, that lore was quietly changed a few editions ago to essentially make it so that the sisters were just so kick-ass they got to stay as a standing army rather than the loophole thing. I think it was 7th or 8th edition that happened. But the loophole was more fun,
Nice.
and
That
Warhammer
looks so
40K canon
cool.
has always been what you want it to be, and no more or less. So let's stick with that version, even if the latter
Make it
is
look
also
dirty.
fairly cool in its own way. From here on out, the
Yeah.
Sisters of Battle, or the Adepta Sororitas, if you'd like to be all official-like, were an officially recognized order of the Imperium. They would go on to participate in all the Imperium's various going-ons, from crusades to purging to suppressing rebellion and all that, and with a fairly respectable track record, too. Only one has been properly recorded falling to chaos, and even if it's more than that, they're certainly far more loyal than other orders.
Wait, only one sister? Like, of every fucking sister? No way. What? Oh, falling to chaos.
They've since ordered themselves into various orders that each have different focuses.
Yeah, they are
and
very
specialities.
committed. I thought it meant like falling in battle for a moment. No, it's falling to chaos. Meaning succumbing.
Sororitas are technically sisters of battle. They most likely can all fight, but only the orders militant are proper sisters of battle. Between those different orders, they'll have different combat specialties, but the general vibe of gothic warrior woman fighting for the Emperor is pretty standard across all of them. Others, however, are incredibly varied, no doubt still with combat training, but devoted to different areas of expertise than caving people's faces in. The Order's Hospitaller are of course devoted to healing and whatnot, and can be found across not only Imperial worlds helping those in need of tending, but following basically all Imperial military forces. Not Space Marines, since they've got apothecaries, but everyone else can be tended to by a Hospitaller, and likely will depending on the circumstances. Orders Dialogus transcribe various documents across the Imperium, most commonly Xenos and heretical tomes.
I like that he's talking about the ones that aren't just of boom, 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 I kill you on the battlefield, you know.
By what they find. Orders Famulus tend to things like governors' palaces and subtly or not so subtly remind them of their loyalties to the Emperor. Orders Princeps monitor the laws of the Ecclesiarchy to make sure there's no potential Goge Van Dyers about to pop up again. They're a surprisingly varied bunch once you get past the combat side of things.
Yeah.
Frequently the military arm of the Ordo Hereticus, so they've got some inquisitorial support when needed. Alternatively, they are forced into being inquisitorial support, but either way results in dead heretics, so I presume they're by and large happy with the arrangement. As you no doubt can guess,
I don't think they'd mind much as long as it just pleases the Emperor and all that jazz.
Be located out of. Here, hundreds of thousands of them can potentially be based out of, and their faith combined with the planet's inhabitants can repel.
You guys like the lore videos, or would you guys prefer like chill music,
you better be breaking out
like that lo-fi ass music? Not that it's ass, it's good. I just meant.
Imperial saints, you see, don't have to be sisters of battle.
I like
Aside
both.
from the fact there are male saints, it isn't like they have a monopoly on worshipping the Emperor, but a fairly disproportionate amount of them
But
do
I
seem
do
to come
really
from
like
Sisters of
the
Battle's
lore
ranks.
vids.
Even
I
more
think
commonly,
I am
sisters
leaning
share
more towards the
faith in
lore
the
vids.
Emperor
I just want to
mankind is more
see what you
important to
guys
manifesting
enjoy
itself on
and
the battlefield, whether
we can all
rejuvenating them or
enjoy
harming the
things
enemies of mankind as they fight for the
together.
Lord's name. It's so common it's a damn tabletop mechanic, proving that no one has quite the level of respect for the Emperor as these gals. And it
Yeah,
couldn't come
really,
soon
they
enough.
just worship him.
Time
And isn't that
whatever
weird
millennium we're onto nowadays, the Imperium
that
gets all the defensive
he just
you
hates
get.
that people
Chaos
worship
is
him?
rising, the various Xenos races are overflowing,
And then
a
he's
whole
okay
lot
with
of
these
people seem to
bitches?
forget this. Even without all that, planets rebel more and more by the day to break away from the crumbling empire, because the Imperium still sucks plenty on its own. Gilliman stands watching planet after planet fall, wishing for anything from the rest of his brothers coming back to the sweet release of death. And without
Yeah.
intervention becoming a whole lot more regular, it would seem that the Imperium
See,
is
I
in
put a little
fall.
too much wash
Luckily,
on
the
his face
sisters
there.
have brought just that, so let's see what they've got going for them. For the first lore positive, the Sisters of Battle, like I said, are for you if you want the most loyal possible faction in 40k, and I do mean out of all.
I'm gonna
of 40K.
put the
This is
copper
an
on
army
there
that was
actually.
technically opposing the entire
After that
Imperial command
wash,
at one
I want to
point, and they
redo
were
that a
allowed to
little
hang
bit.
around because in that opposition, they were still being
He's entirely,
loyal.
absolutely
Knowledge.
against
The only
religion
truly known traitor
wholesale.
there
I
is
think,
Mira
but then
Isles.
didn't they
That
just say
was
that?
an absolute
But didn't they just say that that the sisters met up and spoke with the Emperor and all that jazz? Like, didn't that just happen? Gotta get into all the little crevices. Ugh, sirens are so fucking loud. I'm gonna close the window. Strange that he would like be talking to them and It would have been when he was on the throne. They weren't around while he was active and walking around. Yeah.
Mouthful of a name. There have been a few others, but those were in rather extenuating circumstances, such as Caiaphas Cain, where they were mind-controlled. Miriel was the first and perhaps only to fall to chaos willingly. Even then, willingly largely means she's happy where she is now, rather than how her initial recruitment went, as it were. The ones in Caiaphas Cain...
Recruitment, if you can call that. It's just falling to chaos.
They probably didn't even need to do that. Maybe it's just because it was a Caiaphas Cain novel, but they probably would have gotten off the hook since they were mind-controlled, as was literally everyone else who heard their then-master's voice. Statistically speaking, there's almost certainly been at least a few others, but they are the very rare exceptions to the rule. Every other Sister of Battle is loyal to the Emperor through and through, something no one else can truly say in the Imperium. So if you too would rather
honestly,
honoring the Emperor, this army's for you. They're also a good pick if you want an example of what humanity can achieve in this setting without Space Marine level augmentations and whatnot. Sisters of Battle receive the most intensive training, and while their utter faith means they certainly aren't going to be altering the holy human form nearly as much as the Mechanicus, they'll also still take on augmentations if need be to keep fighting. But there's no special sauce going into the sisters to make them better than the average human. Just insane training.
Yeah, they just train like a lot, right? There's no like Space Marine shit, Adeptus Mechanicus shit happening. There's a whole order dedicated to making sure he is worshipped.
Commanders instead dislike them on occasion.
Everything worships him. It's just
charge in and start taking names. There's no biological science here. There's no sorcery involved. There is their faith manifesting as miracles, but even then, that's not something that's necessarily unique to them. I have to imagine any other...
That's even in Rogue Trader, which is really cool. I like that.
The sisters just push their body and spirit to the extreme, and for their trials, they're some of the toughest people around, mentally and physically. The Guard is often given the humanity hell yeah treatment for holding the line against all sorts of horrors, but honestly, if that's the vibe you want, I think you'd best look to the Sisters of Battle. They're also the pinnacle of the 40k aesthetic, rivaled perhaps only by the Dark Angels. The sisters don't just worship in cathedrals, they drop cathedrals out of orbit to use as forward operating bases. Their armor isn't gothic, it's gothic premium. They run into battle
Gothic
with ornate,
premium.
armor, wielding swords and screaming prayers to the God Emperor. I'd even go so far as to say that the Sisters of Battle have held the truest to the older style of 40k art while still being updated with modern times. I mean, just look at some of their codex art. It's not quite as
That's pretty interesting. That's a good point. That's an interesting point to make.
One sister has legs longer than bayonetas, but it's still feels like an older art in a way. It's still grimy and gross a bit. You can see the winged baby flying around. They still look like nuns who've decided.
Yeah, those babies always. I don't understand them. What are they?
An entire altar on her back still has legs for days. The sisters are not only the peak of 40k's aesthetic, but especially compared to some more modern things like the new Sanguinary Guard or the travesty that is the new Kotias Mini, they're the only carrying the Imperium's aesthetic as it once was.
That does not
They're the only ones that really embrace the spirit
nice,
of
in
the
my
God
opinion.
Emperor.
I'm not a
As much
fan
as
of
they
him.
are peak human form, they're also embracing the fact that 40k is a fantasy setting. Now, that comes with a massive asterisk, of course. There are a few Space Marine chapters that worship Big E as a god in one form or another, and of course any guardsman will give praise to the Emperor after a hard-fought battle, but most Space Marines don't view him as a god, and to some extent still buy into that Imperial truth nonsense. The Guard, meanwhile, is more than happy to rely on the big guns to carry them instead of the Emperor. An understandable thing, because basilisks are awesome, but they're still leaning more into material things to fight. The sisters, meanwhile, are faith through and through. As funny as it is,
Yeah, they just go straight on faith, which is some serious dedication.
Giving them actual real advantages. And depending on how much you think tabletop translates to lore, they can do this so reliably that it forms battle plans. After all, when you base your game plan around the miracle dice, what are you doing if not putting your faith in the Emperor to carry the day? And if it works, is that not the faith of your Sororitas army being rewarded? The Sisters of Battle are also a surprisingly versatile army, both in terms of scale and in terms of narrative possibility. True, you are limited to them all being faithful, but even ignoring fiction, just look at how many real-world religions have and currently do exist to see just how far the concept of faith can take you when you make the lore for your own.
This is looking so
No,
cool.
Get weird with it. Take inspiration.
I'll take really good pictures
There is something I have to
afterwards.
say about this in the cons section, but if the idea of them being faithful is something you think is too limiting a factor, then I'm sorry, but I think you need to work on the imagination. Faith is such a varied thing in this army.
Yeah, I don't,
showcase
you
that if
know,
you don't mind
Faith
putting
is
some work in. As
really
for the narrative
awesome
stuff,
and
it can be
admirable
found
in my
any scale
opinion.
of engagement doing any sort of activity. Caiaphas Cain bemoans how they're all shoot first, ask questions never, but in one of his novels, there's an older sister who's fairly level-headed. She still kicks ass, of course. No one gets to be old in this setting without being a tough bastard, but
Okay,
she's proving an
let's-
sororitas whose fury is tempered by age and experience. Your warband can be flavored in a variety of ways based on this, be they the purest of rage nuns or something a bit more tactical and nuanced. They can also be found at all levels of scale. Grand battles where the fate of the Imperium is at stake. Well, of course the Sisters of Battle are there. They must fight for the Emperor. Small level skirmishes on backwater worlds. The Emperor's flock must be protected, even if just by a lone bastion of a few dozen warriors. If you want, you can even have your army be based on one of the non-combat orders. Sisters of Battle come from the Scala Progenium, so as Cain puts it, I'm sure even the ones that go to non-
I just wish they didn't have such fucked up faces. I wish their faces weren't so
and again,
bad
it's 40K.
on
Once
the
you get
minis.
above the level of people
Okay,
chained
nice.
to a
We've
forge
got
somewhere, you
these
can at least try and put
done.
up a fight. I'm
That's
sure
good.
you're
Yo,
aware of
Red, thank you so much for the love. Thank you.
Here's a pro with a very obvious flip side.
They're also exploiting a loophole. The ecclesiarchy has in a rule that they cannot have men bear arms in a standing military, so they use women instead. I don't know. I just love the girl boss. I love the girl boss.
They aren't pushovers. They can stand toe to toe with the best of them. Keyword can be shown doing that. More later on.
Dry brush time.
Their acronym is also SOB because they're two SOBs, you see. DOBs, I guess, but I had to make that joke somewhere, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say he had to make that joke. Double shake. Double.
Not passively dislike, not view with arrogant contempt, not even something like the Tyranids where there are no emotions involved, just hunger. Because I promise you,
Pop that
you can find
pussy,
reasons for a sister of
pop
battle
that
to hate
pussy.
literally anyone else, and therefore fight anyone else. Xenos, foul corruptions of the human form at best, and filthy abominations at worst. Cleanse them all. Chaos? That's the archenemy. You need no explanation for that one. The Guard? Clearly the Militarum presence in the local region has been faltering, perhaps because of
Takes
heresy.
Unreal
That's another
Control
law
to
for
paint
pathetic shows
faces,
of faith
paint
the
faces,
Emperor
but
finds
like
disgusting.
they're so
Those
ugly.
Space Marines,
Why are their
those
faces
vile
so
demons
ugly?
turn traitor on
I
mass
feel like
forms
they
and
should
make
have
them so
sticker
again.
faces
How
or something. You know what I
autonomous they
mean?
tend to act, you
They
can
should
never
have
be too
faces
sure
that are
if
like
Jacker isn't
stickers.
planning something. Best deal with the Emperor's failed science project now before they get the chance to act on those plans. If you want a reason to not just fight someone, but fight them with passion in your heart, this is the army for you. And since they love doing so with fire, you can add that as a final bonus positive if you're a pyromaniac.
Yeah, they got them flamers,
Start with the
son.
overall stuff. Miracle dice. Also known
Okay,
as
well let's skip the
give everything
tabletop
the
stuff because we don't really do
At the start
tabletop.
of every battle
A
round,
lot of
each
tabletop
unit is
positives, but let's go to
battle
the
army.
lore.
Ephraim Stern and Kyganil.
Oh, their
There they are.
faces. Look at their
It hurts
faces.
so bad, man.
Yeah.
Just want the clowns to be special again. There's one elf and Eldar army even the pointy-ear haters can appreciate to some extent, and they're only characters in the Sisters roster. Why? Anyways, lore downsides now.
Yeah, let's go to the lore
I think I'd just like
downsides.
to be yelled at right away, so I'll rip the band-aid off and tell you that I think the Sisters of Battle might be the most evil army in the setting. from a certain
Really?
viewpoint. Now, obviously, I know they're not the Dark Eldar or Chaos, but they have a much more mundane kind of evil.
I
to
wonder
them.
if this is
Evil of blind
too
faith that attempt to
light.
commit the most brutal acts possible. If they think you're a heretic, you're simply dead. There will be no mercy, there will be no respite. there is no
Yeah,
burning
true.
alive.
They have
The
no
Sisters of Battle will
sympathy.
commit all the atrocities of the Imperium without even pausing to think about if it's right. In their mind, this is what the Emperor wants them to do, and so every single possible action they can take is done with the blessing of their conscience. 40k being 40k, they're going to be doing a whole lot of messed up things. It's a much tamer kind of evil, like I said, but it is something I feel worth mentioning. The Sisters of Battle are almost like the logical extreme of the phrase "I was just following orders."
Okay,
In their
let's
case, the
try
orders
this.
probably turn them on a little bit. Speaking of, the Sisters have a bit of a masochistic tendency going on with them that pushes beyond self-sacrificing and into the territory of army-wide psychological damage. Dying for the Emperor is the best thing they could possibly do, and they'll throw themselves into any fight to achieve that goal and take heretics with them. That's Kane's chief complaint of them. They oftentimes don't follow orders, they don't make battle plans, they just run in swinging, screaming the Emperor's name, and if they die, they died fighting for the Emperor. I mean, just look at the Sister Repentius. That is not something a healthy mind will do.
That
Just
is
because it's
crazy.
common practice doesn't make it good, and stripping down to basically nothing and charging machine gun nests is where we start to tip over from willing to die for the cause.
Have you
to
tried the
just willing
tabletop
to
game
die.
Cabo, like in
Everyone makes the
person?
same joke
I've
that they
watched
walk into
it.
the land
I used to go to a club,
but I
like
think
a
the system
Warhammer
might in
club,
some cases
and I've
definitely
watched
do
people
something
play
like that.
it,
People
and
want
I
to
will
die
say
for
that I don't think I
sins.
could ever
The
actually
sisters
play it.
outside the Repentia oftentimes just come across as wanting to die, although admittedly, I too would probably choose death rather than live in 40k. I suppose if you're really into masochism, this is a good army for you, but it would still be nice if GW authors
It's just a little too mathy, or it's just not my kind of
yes,
game, I
excuse me if being
guess.
woke with that statement, but I've seen the fan art you fuckers make of the sisters. Tell me what that is, if not fetish bait.
Oh.
That much of a problem if GW didn't have a seeming vested interest in showing Sisters of Battle getting obliterated. The first appearance of the Necrons against the Imperium in universe came about because of a tabletop match they turned into lore, where the Necrons basically wiped the Sisters' army entirely. This seemed to start a running trend. The Sisters were cannibalized by the Sons of Malice, a demon engine basically killed an entire shrine world worth of sororitas, a bunch of them died off screen to keep Caiaphas Cain safe. One time the Grey Knights murdered a bunch of them to make anti-demon wards out of their blood to paint onto their armor, which is certainly one of Matt Ward's finer pieces of writing. And in Dawn of War, they just started attacking everyone, Imperium included, and they canonically lost.
It takes unreal control to paint faces. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I really think they should do like a sticker or something.
Combined with everything else. They're in a very awkward, shall we say.
Took a few hours to play a game last night. Yeah, it's just a lot.
And that it may damn well be self-inflicted to some extent. Even if that latter bit isn't true in a given piece of lore, Saint Celestine still got her ass beat by Abaddon the moment the Necron pylons were activated on Cadia. Not a very good look for someone who's basically the spiritual leader of the entire faction. Just a heads up is all. If you go with the Sisters, you run the risk of playing the army GW likes to kill so that someone else can look cooler for it. They're also somewhat lacking in books. Certainly not the worst off army in 40k, but
yeah, like
in need of some more development. And compared to
they could use some more love in the novels, definitely.
Statement. Unless your name is Gotrek or Felix, you have less book appearances than almost any given name Space Marine character. It's not a crippling deficiency, but you'll probably run out of Sisters books sooner rather than later if you're really dedicated to your stories. A rather more glaring issue is that the lore of the Sisters that does
But like fanfics though? But what about fanfics though?
Is a kick-ass sect of the sororitas that I'd say does deserve the spotlight of the army. Someone has to be the default of a faction, and they've earned it. The problem is, Games Workshop seems to forget they aren't the only order around. Almost all of their special characters come from that order, with the rest practically languishing.
Yeah, they really don't show off all of the orders of
Setting, but it would at least be nice to see them mentioned more regularly.
Yeah.
Entire campaigns have probably relied on the Order's hospitality to keep.
Oh, that face! Look at that face!
No. For the love of God, the Hospitaller mini has her painted in the Order of Our Martyred Lady color scheme on the website. Games Workshop.
I need to read that book.
Other parts of this army exist. They're fun and interesting. We won't all abandon the faction because you talked about other bits of them. This is closer to what I meant in the previous point. Space Marines get away with the more minor players being less focused on because less focused on for Space Marines means they only have half a dozen books. Some of the Sisters orders are basically Codex footnotes, and that footnote may damn well be about how they got their ass kicked. I mentioned one of the upsides and the downside to it earlier, and that's that the aspect of faith being a varied and multifaceted thing is not at all represented by what we get out of the Sisters. Every single one of them is Catholic, Gothic, and power armor, except the Repentia, who are Catholic, Gothic, and naked. The Imperium being an ancient empire of countless different cultures does not at all come across from the Sisters.
Ouchie.
Different Space Marine chapters all have plenty of different characterizations to be had, and even with GW axing almost every old guard regiment that was unique, they still have a couple different aesthetics and whatnot to choose from. Hell, I think even the Eldar have more variety in this department, because at least in the lore, the different craft worlds are vastly different from one another. Depending on which models you specialize in, an Eldar army can look completely different from another one while still keeping the same theme. The Sisters, meanwhile, will always look the same if you're using official stuff, which is a shame, because like I said, you can do so much with the concept.
That's why I like, I printed a few Sisters back in South Africa, And they looked so different than the GW ones in like a good way. Like
none with a gun. I'm sure someone will say that's the point, and fair enough. I'm not criticizing the aesthetic itself. The sisters are on point with it. It's a good thing for them to be a one-trick pony of. But with how broad religion can be and how it's been stated that the Imperial cult has thousands of different interpretations to it, I really wish we got to see something like that with the sisters in battle. First off, for their tabletop downsides, their toughness. It's bad. Almost all models, even Saint Celestine herself, are toughness 3. Them all having invuln saves at a certain point stops being a nice feature and starts being a necessity.
Do this wash on this new copper face, and then I think we're actually just gonna be done with this dude. Maybe just a little bit more.
With the abundance of Strength 6 weapons in this game, wounding the majority of the Sisters roster on a 2 is not at all a stretch of the imagination. Maybe I'm biased because my normal game of 40k has been Orc Flashkits and Eldar Wraiths duking it out with each other, but it is not difficult to wound the Sisters if their save can be bypassed. On a related note, the Sisters at their best are a nice middle ground between the Imperial
Okay, I think we actually finished. I think we actually finished this dude. I was not expecting to finish a whole mini in just 3 hours or 2.5 hours, I guess, since I really started. But wow, I think that's like the fastest time I've ever completed a mini. Am I satisfied with him? He's pretty cute. I like him. He's a cool dude. He's a cute little guy. He's a cute little guy. I'm happy with him. I'm satisfied. I'll take pictures of him later, and yeah, you guys can't see him so good because the webcam is pretty garbo, but he's pretty cool. He's a pretty cool little guy. He's a cool little dude. I'm very, very happy. It does take a bit, but yeah, the payoff. Whoa, oh no, I mean, because it usually takes me way longer to finish a mini. Like I get shaky and I'm not so good at painting all the time, so I'm like pretty surprised that I finished so early. But I'm very happy with it. And I'm very, very happy. I think I'm going to switch over to Silent Hill now. We are going to take maybe a 10-minute break or so, just so I can clear everything up and get everything set up. So thank you guys so much for chilling around. So just give me a few moments. We won't be too long. Thank you, friends. Thank you, friends.